Hello and welcome to 2026, which is the Chinese New Year of the Fire Horse. The Fire Horse is a powerful, powerful character. Now, when I say fire, I'm talking about the Chinese element of fire, because mixing the Western and Chinese elements is a bit complicated, because what fire means in China doesn't mean the same thing in the Western world. So I might just keep them separate, but what I will say is that there's a legend when it comes to the fire horse, especially relating to women. Back in the day, the fire horse women were deemed as so powerful and so strong, they used to bury them alive. It was seen as a curse to have a fire horse woman, because she was going to bring disrepute to the family. That's what they used to say. So obviously, we're talking years ago. The Chinese people don't feel like that anymore. That's not part of the culture, but it's something that's known in the culture. So if you have a child that's born in this year and she's female, get ready for drama. Horsewomen by themselves, they're tomboyish. They have got quite a masculine spirit. They're elegant, they're beautiful, they're feminine. They've got all that thing, but they do have kind of a let's say, rather than say masculine, let's say neutral. There's a neutral spirit to the horsewoman character anyway. But when you got the fire horse and all of those horses horsewomen that were born in 1966, you're a fire horse. So you've got a bit of a mythology to live up to there, fire horsewomen. Okay, so welcome to the horse year. It's going to be a very interesting one because we're just coming out of the snake year at the moment. I'm filming this on the 10th of January 2026. So Chinese year hasn't changed yet. We're still in Capricorn. Chinese year always changes in Aquarius. So this year it's going to change on the 17th of February 2026. So it's quite a late Chinese New Year. The latest it can be is the 19th. So it's on the 17th. It's pretty late. And the Chinese don't deem that to be lucky. What they deem to be lucky is if the Chinese year begins early and ends late. So already they're considering this as a bit, But who is it questionable for? Because to my mind, this horse year is exactly what we need. If you see the state that the world is in, it's very interesting that right now is when we get given this horse year. Remember, the horse symbolizes freedom. It plays the role of the political rebel. It advocates for the underdog. So when we come into this world, we look at what's happening in America with all the ICE stuff. Look at what's happening here in the UK with the Prime Minister that's making it easier and easier to throw people in prison for speech crimes, thought crimes. All of this sort of stuff is anathema to the horse energy. So this is an opportunity to really bring equality back and inclusivity back, but true inclusivity, not inclusivity that favors one person or not one person, that favors one group of people as opposed to another group of people. This year has the energy potentially to really genuinely equalize the situation. So it's interesting to me that if we look at what signs are in positions of power in the significant countries, like if we look at the UK, we've got Keir Starmer, who is a Tiger Virgo. Now, I normally like that chart a lot. Don't like the fact that he's a Tiger Virgo, but he is what he is. So each sign can be good or bad depending on where they are on the spectrum of each individual sign, right? So the tiger is an independent creature. They tend to be... Tiger's a lone wolf. As I know there's the two animals there, but the tiger acts like a lone wolf. They like to be independent and like to do things by themselves. This Keir Starmer is compromised in so many ways. I think his astrology is completely irrelevant here, because this person has, if you guys know about the rent boys that burnt his car and burnt his house and all this sort of stuff, you know that this guy is so compromised. He's going to do the bidding of the World Economic Forum. But from an astrological perspective, it's interesting that he's a Tiger Virgo, because this year of the horse has two best friends. One is the dog and one is the tiger. So we have the tiger here in the UK. And take a wild guess what Donald Trump is, people. Unfortunately, he is a dog Gemini. And so the two best friends... I have a very conspiratorial mind. I can't help but think that they've done it on purpose, because they knew that this horse year could be problematic for them. And I'm not saying they're doing all of this orchestration just for the horse year. No, no, no. But I think it's interesting because they do know about astrology. They do know about these things, that the year that was going to be problematic for them was this year. And so what do? They put people who in positions of power who are going to have good years this year. So hopefully it can lessen the impact of the horse rebellion to people whose signs are conducive to horse energy. Now, I don't know if that's going to work out like that, but let's see what does happen. It's going to be an interesting year, I'll tell you that. If you read the segment that I've written and I've put up, so what I tend to do, this video is a merger of the astrology and the tarot stuff. If you read the predictions I've written for each of the individual signs, normally if you go to the bottom of the screen on my website, all the signs are there. If you click on your sign, you'll have a written prediction for the year. That's purely based on the astrology side of things. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to do Astro Tarot. So for each of the signs, I'm going to pull cards for each of the months of 2026 so that you can see what your year is going to pan out like. I'm going to start from February. Last year, because I knew Chinese year was changing on the 17th of this year, last year when I did the snake year readings, I read for January as well. So this year, in this reading, I'm going to start from February and go on to January. Okay, so I guess we can start. But before I start, there's more that I want to say about the horse year. That the energies are conducive for certain signs, as I've already said. Horse year is good for horse signs, dog signs, tiger signs, boar signs, and sheep signs. Those 5 signs are going to find that it's going to be a positive year for them in different areas, but it's going to be a positive year for them of growth and opportunities. The signs that might struggle this year a little bit will be the rat sign, because it's in opposition to the horse, and only the rat and the horse make their own year good for them. Most other signs, when you're in your own year, you struggle a little bit, but the horse makes a good environment for the horse, the rat makes a good environment for the rat. So now here we are in the horse year. It's a good environment for the horse, but the opposite sign, the rat sign, will struggle a little bit. The horse plays the role of the advocate and for the rebel, and as the rebel. So therefore, signs that are powerful, have a massive presence, are seen as the establishment, they're going to struggle, right? There are 2 signs. The ox symbolizes the authority, the establishment, the traditional institutions, and the dragon. Dragon is the socially established one, so that it has social clout. So those are the 2 signs that might find that their way of life may be a bit affected this year. And the rat sign, because it's the opposite year, it's just going to be, they're going to find difficulties in their the work stuff, like things aren't going to move as smoothly as they would like. They tend to work as entrepreneurs, as social workers, as life coaches, and they do a few things, not just one thing. Usually they have the life coach thing on the side as something else, but they'll find that their main business is going to have little issues as they go along. But it's not something that they can't handle. They have to give it a little bit more time than they would like. That's all. But the positive years, like I say, the horse sign, the dog sign, the tiger sign, the boar sign, and the sheep sign. Now these signs, the sheep sign is your year of your soulmate year, so it's a romantic year for you. The boar sign is a year of growth. It's like you have time and space now. You're not in the rat race. You're not on the treadmill the whole time. You have some time. So even though the horse year is one of the fastest years, you'll have a little bit of time so you can actually do stuff and look at yourself and think about what it is that you want for yourself. So that's what the horse gives to the boar sign. The tiger sign, they realise that the doors sort of open a little bit, so they realise that they're not as alone as they feel, which does make them uncomfortable. They don't even know how to handle that. For them, it's always been other people and life has always been a little bit arm's length. Like life's happening there and I'm over here, my own little bubble. But they don't know that I feel like I'm in my own little bubble. But this year that bubble bursts a little bit and more people come closer to you and the tiger's like, oh my God, what the hell is this? So that's what happens for the tiger people in this horse year. They allow themselves to actually feel loved, which is crazy for the tiger. And then the horse, no, dog sign. We'll go to dog sign. So dog signs, it's a very good energy for their creative passions, their work stuff. It's like there'll be two major things that they're going to sort of take the reins of, and they're going to run alongside. So there's going to, if you imagine you've got creative passion, you've got a work thing, and you want to do both, and you want to give energy to both, you can this year. It's not a case of having to do what you have to do to survive. Again, a bit like the Boar sign, you have some time, and you can really put your focus into it. It's just generally a good year for the dogs. They have lots of gifts and blessings that come in various times. It's the I would say I would say it's the best year for the dog sign of all 12. They work wise they peak also in rooster years, but I would say in terms of joy and fun for the dog sign, this is the year. So enjoy it, dogs. And as for the horse, look, this is your own year. This is a time where you get to build your life. You get to build the people. You get to choose the people that come into your life. You get to create environments so that those people feel comfortable, and you feel comfortable doing that sort of stuff, because it's not something that you usually like doing. But you know, this is a time for you to be in your element, and you don't have to be a fire. You don't have to be a fire horse for that, but just be in your element. You know what I mean? And just yeah, it's just generally a good year. Let's see what the cards say, and then I can give you a bit more detail. All right, let's move into the individual signs now. So this is the prediction for the rat sign in 2026, the year of the horse. Now, the Chinese New Year starts on the 17th of February and runs until the 6th of February, 2027. So I'm going to start the reading from February 2026. If you want to see January, watch last year's video. It's there as well, so you can see January there. All right, so the first card we've got is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is a card where you remove all the emotion and you make your decision based upon the facts. You try and be as objective as possible, and you don't let yourself be emotionally taken to an irrational place. So it seems like February may bring may push you, possibly even trigger you into a place where you're like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I now need to stop being too kind, too giving people too much time and listening to everybody talking about their stuff without asking for my needs to be met as well. But rather than asking for your needs to be met, you're more likely to be like, I just need my space now. So you may turn off your niceness, your kindness, your warmth, and go a bit military king-like, which is like, okay, you can now back off, and I need my space, and I need my time to myself. And it's a good thing to do. Be like the King of Swords, and strategize, figure out what you're going to do, and then do it. As in, figure out what you're going to do in advance, and then do it. Right, March. The Hangman. The Hangman is a really interesting card, because what happens with this one is, you know, when you feel connected to the divine, when you feel connected to the universal flow. What this card is saying is that you've been disconnected from it for a while, and you want to reconnect. You're going to reconnect, but only when you let go of what you're carrying, or let go of the burdens, let go of the thing that you wanted, let go of the dream, and that energetically unburdens you, because you have to accept your circumstances. This dude is tied up. He's upside down. There's nothing he can do about it. So accept your circumstances. And when you do that, when you accept the circumstances, what happens is you catch that flow. It sort of, it's like you jumped into the water and you're letting the waves carry you to where you need to be. So there's no resistance there. So this is the card where you transition from resistance to non-resistance to catching the universal flow. What Esther Hicks would say, entering the vortex, right? So March will be a very, very good time for you to let go and enter that vortex. April is going to be an interesting time. April, we've got the Five of Pentacles. Now, this card, generally speaking, means poverty, financial struggles, and feeling neglected by people, feeling on the outside of things. Do you see how they sort of, I don't know if you can see it properly, but they're broken, they've got broken arm, broken leg, they look destitute. They're on the outside. There's a church behind them, but they're on the outside, and they feel like people have forgotten them. So the fact that they're outside a church, what that suggests is that there's an issue with your belief system. Now, I'm not talking about religious beliefs, Christianity, or any of the religions, monotheistic or otherwise. But what I am saying is that, have you lost touch with who it is that you are? What is your mission statement? What did you come here for? Have you lost touch with that? Maybe it's time in April to reconnect to who it is that who you believe yourself to be. Because with this card coming up, it could suggest that you're slightly on the side of who you want to be, and it's now time to remerge and be fully who you are. And it feels like once you've done that, and we get to May, there's opportunities galore. So this is the card that comes up when there's a new job, new opportunity, new contract, possibly a promotion. So this is a very positive card. May feels very free and feels like the call of summer, right? It's like something you've been waiting for. I know that a lot of rat signs are very affected by the light, by the sunshine, and everybody is. But I know a friend of mine who's a rat sign has a seasonal affective disorder, and it's really, when summer comes along, I think rat signs just feel so much better. And so at this time in May, do get out more, do spend more time in nature, and just wait, because there's opportunities there for you in May. June, it looks like the opportunities continue. We've got the 9 of Cups, which is the card of contentment. This is also one of those cards. There's 2 cards where you can make a wish and the wish could come true. There's this one, and there's also the Star card. So this is for June. We've got the card of contentment, a sense that you have so many blessings, so many good things have happened in your life. But there's a sense that, it's not perfect yet. It could be more perfect if you had this or if you had that or whatever. But you're pretty happy. So June is also a very, very good month. July. Now, July asks something from you. July says, you've been procrastinating, and it's time for that procrastination to stop. Now it's time for you to get on with the work and take action. The Knight of Wands is somebody who doesn't hang around, is very effective, and he's got all the skills to be really effective. He's young, he's got great skills. So it's not just a case of him taking action when the time is right. He takes action in ways that other people can't. And I think that's what's asked of you in July. Do the work, and do the work as only you can. August, very good. One of the best cards in the pack. We've got the World card. This says you are in tune with the universe. I just want to show you something. This is the Hangman, and this is the World. If you turn the World upside down, do you see the similarity of the cards? Because this card says you're in tune with the universe. This one says you were disconnected, so we're going to make you in tune with the universe. Did you notice the numerology as well? The 12th and the 21st. Both of them come out to 3. So it's very interesting. But yeah, August, very, very good card. You're in tune with the universe. Your blessings flow. This is a very, very good month. In fact, it looks like a very good summer for you. You've got those 4 months. Well, it continues. Let's have a look. The blessings seem to continue throughout the whole of the summer into the autumn. It's very positive, actually. And so considering that this is your opposite year, what the cards are saying is that as long as you can keep your perspective optimistic, and if there are any issues, you just sort of don't focus your energy there and you just keep going, that this could be a really, really positive horse year for you, despite it being your opposite year. So after August, the World card, we get the Ace of Wands in September. Now this is very much your card, really, because this is the card of entrepreneurial spirit, and that is the rat through and through. So this card says this is a great time to start a business. If you think about having a child, this is a great time for that. It's a good time to start new things, and this is September in 2026. The Ace of Wands gives you lots of powerful forward motion energy, and also gives you lots of ideas for things that you may want to do. So just sort of sort of relax into it, you'll intuitively know what it is that you need to do. Because it's possible at this time in September, you've got lots of things, lots of ideas. What do I want to do? Do I want to focus more on relational stuff, or do I want to focus more on business stuff? Because this is very much a business card, but also it's phallic symbol. It's to do with the birth of a child as well, or the conception of a child. So, think about what it is you want, and relax into it, and then let it happen. September, October, we have the six of Pentacles, the card of charity, of giving and receiving. So sometimes you can be the giver, and sometimes you can be the receiver. Now, I don't know which one's which in this context. It depends on your circumstances. Either way, it's a positive card, because it means the abundance is around you right now. So opportunity is there. If you need the funding can come. If it's you who wants to get involved with providing the funding, because rats are producers, then there's opportunities, creative ideas out there for you that you want to get involved with, and creative people you want to work with. Especially if you're kind of a bit older and you want to mentor people, that's a fantastic time to meet the right people. November, we have the Queen of Cups. Now, she's a very maternal, nurturing energy. She says, I want to look after you and make sure you're okay, make sure you're heard, you're seen, and you feel like you're loved and you matter. This is the most sort of caring mother. Well, there's this one and the Empress. But I would say that this is one of the most nurturing female mother cards that there is in the pack. So oftentimes when this card comes up, it's time to look at your inner child. Is your inner child asking for stuff? And are you providing it? So if you could do some inner child workshops or some inner child work at this time, you being a rat sign, it's possible that you know how to lead these things. So maybe you're in that position to be that mother and lead workshops to help other people. That could also happen for you, because it's very rat to be a life coach, to be a healer in that way. So however that relates to you, be the nurturer, look after yourself, and look after other people as well. December, we have the Page of Wands. Now, I always think of the Page of Wands as a writer, as somebody who records what's happening for their own benefit, but also for their own, sometimes for other people, but mostly for their own benefit. Like, if you journal, this card sometimes comes up as a sign. Maybe it's time to start journaling. Maybe it's time for you to not need somebody else to see you or hear you, but you need to reflect it like a mirror. Psychologically, what's happening up here needs to be reflected like a mirror, so that you have it somewhere and only you can see it. And so I'm not thinking you type it into a computer either. I'm thinking you write it out in a book, or just pages of paper, or these people have started this whole thing of having like a sketchbook, like a A3 sketchbook, and then they write in that. And I quite like the idea. I don't know why, but I like it. It feels great to me. Maybe you could do something like that. But anyway, it's about recording your experience for your own learning and development and growth. That's December. Strange month for that, but it is what it is. Then in January we have the Eight of Swords, the card of restriction. But with this card of restriction, it feels like there are people around you saying, you can't do that, no, I'm not gonna let you do that, or why would you want to do that? That will make you feel stupid for things that you want to do, or things that are in your heart. But this is a sort of a sign that's saying, go and do it anyway. Other people don't matter. What matters is what you want to do and who you are. Reflect it. Let it be. And interesting, that's coming after the month where you have to write it out for yourself. It's possible that a lot of the rat people that I know have come from families where they've had to fight to be who they are. And it's better not to open yourself to other people when you know that it's just going to turn into a fight, or it's just going to turn into an argument. So just allow yourself to be, and go for it. Just be. It's nobody's business. You go do what you want to do, and you're freer than you realise. So with this card, blindfolded, arms are tied, but your legs are free. So you can move, and you can move away from the restriction. And when you're far away, somebody will help you remove the blindfold, and remove your arms will also be free, and you can do what you want. Ain't nobody's business. Okay? So that's a quick rundown for 2026 for the rat sign. If you are interested in booking a reading with me, the information should be at the bottom of the screen here. So get in touch and we can have a chat. That would be lovely. But I wish you a very good 2026. And thank you very much. The Ox. This is the reading for the Ox sign in 2026, the month by month reading. So we start in February 2026. We have the Seven of Wands. So now this card is about having the higher perspective. It's like you're on top of the hill and you can see what other people can't. It also means that you have the advantage. So you have the higher perspective, you see more, you understand more, you can see the bigger picture, whereas other people can't. And because of that, if it matters that other people need to hear you, they might not. But if it doesn't matter, it gives you an advantage because you have this information when other people don't. So you can use it to your advantage. So it's a very, very positive card. The only one thing I would say is as we transition into the horse year, you've come from the snake year, which is like one of your best friend signs. So they've made it relatively comfortable for you to a certain degree. And then as we go to the horse year, you have to fight a little bit. It feels like a bit of a fight. So that's why you can see he's fending people off. Because for you and your sign, as we enter the horse sign, there's more resistance than there was before. You've gone from party environment to, what's this? My guard is up. I have to defend myself. I have to defend my beliefs, my opinions, and people aren't just sort of going along with my opinion anymore. And oxes really don't like that. They really don't like that. So that's February. March, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is this is a great card. This card says, I now choose to take care of my mind, body, and spirit. And so the focus becomes health. The focus becomes being as peak as you possibly can in lots of different areas of your life. So it's a very positive card in that regard. The other thing that this card symbolizes is that a guardian angel, somebody who may have passed, who maybe tries to make communication with you, or you feel that there's some entity around you. That very much could be the case. Is a positive energy. If you're having that feeling in March time 2026, it's a positive thing. Don't be scared, don't be afraid. Just sense that person and see who it reminds you of, and chances are that person's come to visit you. But it's a beautiful card, the Knight of Pentacles. And that person, whoever it is that you're sensing, is a part of your cluster, your spiritual cluster. That person is there to help guide you and push you along the road in a very positive direction. So April is an interesting time because this card of the Seven of Swords is about an energy thief who is amongst you, who's taking your energy and is stealing. Energetic stealing is what's happening. Theft. Sometimes it can be physical, it can be actual theft, but more often than not, this card suggests that there's a energy vampire amongst you, taking your energy so that you don't have your full chi to live your life properly. If that person takes your energy, then you are left with. It's like having half a fuel tank. You can only go so far. Whereas if you had full energy and it continuously replenishes itself because you're choosing to be in an environment where there's positive people around, then you make better choices. You have better options. All these different opportunities are there for you. But when you're around people who are maybe toxic or just are takers, then your opportunities are different. Energetically, you just feel like, there's a fallow thing. There's this fallowness around. It's just. You don't have the same zest for life. And the horse year is all about that. It's all about having fun and having being a little bit hedonistic, you know. And you can't do that when you're around people who just take from you. And if you find that you yourself are falling into that role, then stop it, because it's not good. May. For May, we have the Page of Swords. Now, in this pack, I say that there are 4 cards of narcissism. The one before, the Seven of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Five of Swords. So we've got 2 narcissistic cards right next to each other, and that is in April and into May. So that would say to me that there are difficult people around you. And either that or you're being difficult yourself. I'm not saying you're being narcissistic, but it could be that you are being stubborn in a way, and people are trying to get you to see something different to what you believe, and you're sort of digging your heels in. That's also a possibility. The more likely situation is that you've got difficult people around you, and you need to navigate that. So the Page of Swords is somebody who is has a cutting tongue, can come out with things that are rude and aggressive, and then just throws it off, I was just joking, that sort of stuff. So you just need to be careful about the people that you're around and manage them in a way that you can show them the door, but in a nice way, so that they don't try to destroy your reputation, because that's what these cluster B toxic personalities try and do. So yeah, be clever about it. Use your power and your status to encourage them down a road, and that road will hopefully take them far away from you. So yeah, but May does look like it's going to be a bit complicated because of the people that you're around. June is better. We've got the Knight of Cups. This is a very positive energy. This is the romantic idealist. So this is somebody who's happy and joyful and has idealistic views about things. You might, being Oxide, you might find them a little bit naive, but if this is a personality, it's an actual person, then this is the sort of person that you could be around. I know Ox people can find it a little bit irksome, because they think, come on, open your eyes, this is the real world, this is the hard, harsh real world. You don't want to have rose-tinted glasses. But, it's a different energy to the narcissists, or the people high in narcissistic traits, or difficult toxic personalities, which we've just seen is in the mid part and late part of spring for you. So this energy heralds a positive change, and one that is far more warmer, nicer. It's also quite a romantic card, so it could mean that if you are single, you could meet somebody at this point. And as we go from May to June, and from June to July, we now have the card of speed and synchronicity. So this is also very, very positive. This is the Eight of Wands. So this card says, if you've been waiting for communication and you haven't heard for a while, finally it will happen. It also means that whatever it is that you're working on or doing, very, very positive coincidences could take place that could speed you along on the journey. The horse year is one of the fastest years of all. The only sign that's equal in terms of speed is the monkey sign. But here with the card of speed and synchronicity, it would suggest that whatever you're working on, it will get done quite quickly. So then that takes us July. That takes us to August. Now, even though August is the end of the summer here in the UK and in the Northern Hemisphere, I've got the Hermit card for you. Now, it's not unusual for Oxes just to sort of lock themselves away and say, now I just need to lock myself in my house and just do my own thing and hibernate a little bit. But not normally in August. In August they want to be out in the garden. They love having the grass under their feet. They love the earth. And so normally in August they want to be out as much as possible, even if it's just in their back garden. And maybe that's going to be the case. But we've got the Hermit card, which means that they may just want to be alone, or they may try to do their spiritual practices so that they can find the light from within. So it's possible that you might engage in lots of meditation, or maybe go to a retreat or something like that, either by yourself, or you could go to a retreat somewhere and meet new people. Sometimes though, the Ox people that I know oftentimes feel very alone in groups of people. And even if they're talking to people, because you've got the two types of Oxes. You've got the ones that never say a word, high status, big presence, quiet, taciturn people. Or you have the oxes, usually the women who talk for their country, talk for England, and they don't stop. So you get the two, you get the mid points as well. But really, I've noticed an extreme. They're either this way or they're that way. So, but even when they're around those people, they still feel like they're alone, and they don't really feel understood. So that's August. September. Now, September's an interesting card. The Three of Pentacles. This card has two main primary interpretations. One is rebuilding something that's broken, often belief systems or relationships with people. But it can also mean physically. Actually, something's broken and you need to physically fix it, because oxes are often the carpenters. They're often those people that are very, very good as handymen, as well as whatever they do for work. Sometimes it is what they do for work, but sometimes it's a separate thing as well. So it can sometimes mean having to fix something physical, but more often than not, it's re-establishing relationships, or looking at your belief system, and maybe your your ideals were damaged by something that happened or someone that came into your life, and it's now time for you to think about returning to who it is that you actually are, and not allowing that one situation to have such a massive impact upon your life. And the other interpretation for that card, the Three of Pentacles, is working on something to mastery, getting to the point of mastery of it. So yeah, that's September. October, we've got the card of the Five of Pentacles. So now the Five of Pentacles, this is a card of feeling neglected, like you're not a part of things. So it has two primary interpretations: the card of financial issues and neglect, feeling like you're on the outside, life is happening over there, I'm on the outside, people don't care about me, people don't see me, they don't hear me, they don't understand me. The problem is you have to do the work. When this card comes, it's like other people are not about to come to you to try and help you right now. This is a card that says you've got to make the first move. You've got to figure out a way. If you're on the floor, you've got to get back up. So you've got to find it in yourself to do that. And as you do that, energy shifts and people will come. But you've got to make the first move. Yeah. November, we have the Two of Cups. Now this is very, very positive for romantic relationships. This is a friendship that turns into love. It's being blessed from above. And the divine will support the relationship here. So if you are single, it's a very, very positive month to meet somebody. And if you are with somebody, the relationship can grow deeper and more powerful at this time. December, we have the King of Cups. Now this is the peak of emotional maturity. So this person, it's a bit interesting. It's a bit similar to that sort of card, because the King of Cups sees and hears and understands more than a lot of other people. So with the ability to do that also comes a responsibility to hold psychological space for people. So it could be that you're given a sort of a unspoken responsibility to guide somebody out of the dark, and nobody may even know that you've done it. You might not get any acclaim. You may not even get a thank you for it, but it's the universe has said, here you go. This is a responsibility for you. Nobody else can really do this but you, with your skill set. So it's up to you if you choose to help them or not. Because it's the King of Cups, I think you will. It's an interesting card. On the flip side of that, it could be there's a chance that you could be the one that needs that advice, but it feels like to me that you're the one that will be dispensing it. Yeah. And then that takes us to January, as we head towards the new Chinese year of the sheep, which will be your opposite year, right? But the Chinese year doesn't start until the 7th of February. But still, the January will be the last full month in the horse year. And what card we have? We have the Four of Cups. So now this card is known as a blessing in disguise. You may be offered things, but they're not really to your taste. You may not be happy with the circumstances. If you're doing a project, the outcome might not be what you wanted. But there's something in this, so you just have to bear with it. Just wait, and things will shift. Something positive will come out of this. Like I say, blessing in disguise. If you're made an offer of something and you're not sure whether you should accept it, when this card comes, he doesn't accept. He's there. He hasn't actually accepted it, but it might be worth accepting it, even if it's less money, or less opportunity that you thought it was going to be. It will lead to something better. But right now, it's not a bad opportunity for you. It's about whether you've got your ego in check to see where it could go. It's up to you. At the end of the day, you make the decision. It's not preordained that you will take it or you won't take it. It's down to you. You choose. So that was the month by month for 2026 for the ox sign. Hope you liked it. If you want to, you can book a reading with me. The information is in the description, and also maybe going across the bottom right now. If you want a reading, get in touch and we'll have a chat. Thank you very much for watching. The Tiger. This is the reading for 2026 for the Tiger sign. So I'm starting in February because Chinese New Year starts on the 17th of February and 2026 and runs until the 6th of February 2027. So February for the Tiger sign, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Now this is a card which is quite foundational. When this card comes, it's when you're working to create something, and where the tigers are right now, they're a bit bored with things. So the snake here has helped them start something new. It has spurred something in them that's made them feel alive again. That's made them feel like they know that they want more. There's a feeling of they want more than what they have, and they've already started working on that and building upon that. So what this card does in February 2026 is sowing the seeds for those things to grow even more. Along with sowing these seeds, although you might not be experiencing the joy and the freedom that you're looking for yet, you know it's coming. So there's an excitement. There's like a underground excitement there with this card, and so this is really, really positive for you, and you begin to see the opportunities that are on their way, the things that the exciting experiences and events you're going to experience in this horse year. And it makes sense that it's the horse year where that happens as well. March now, we have the Hermit card. So there's also this thing of, along with those experiences that you want, you need to align your image of yourself, because you've shifted, you've grown. There may have been a part of you that thought that there was this essence that's going to stay the same the whole way throughout your life, and a part of it does, but you've surprised yourself in that some of those things have shifted in ways that you weren't expecting, and you need to catch up with it. It could be that in March 2026 you sort of begin to merge this new you with the old idea of you. The two things come together, and that's what you're finding when you're sort of retreating into your own little world, like the Hermit does. Can be done physically, withdrawing and spending more time by yourself, but it can also be done just psychologically, and you act normal throughout the day, and then in the evening time or whenever you have your spare time, you find some time to really figure this out. Some people do it through writing, some people do it through visualization, or just thoughts. However you do it, you realign the new version of you that you actually are with your old idea of you, and you update your mission statement, your life mission statement. April, we have the Justice card. Now, this is very positive if you're engaged in a legal battle. If something like that is happening with you, chances are it will go in your favour, because the Justice card would say that. It also means if you feel like you're going to an extreme, it's fine. Let yourself go there. Eventually, the time will come when you go to the other end as well. Because, the people often people often have this idea that Libras strive for balance, and I sort of scoff at that. You can see it in my face. Look at this scoffy face. And it's because my understanding of Libras is that they'll go all the way to that extreme, and then they'll go all the way to the other extreme, and then all the way to the other extreme again. And to me, that's what the Justice card symbolises. It's that whole Libra thing of going there to there to there to there. Because then what you're doing is you're experiencing the polarities to such a powerful degree. You get that flavour, and then you want to go to the other flavour. It's like when you're in the freezing cold, you can't wait for the sun, and when you're in the sun, you're like, oh, this is too much. I can't wait for the cold or the autumn or the winter to come along. It's that thing. So, in April, when the Justice card comes, it could be that you've gone to one of those extremes, or maybe you go to both of those extremes. If it is that mode, if it is just generally other general interpretations of the Justice card, is that you're asked to be a fair judge. An arbiter of a situation, or it could be that you need to be the person that needs to go and see somebody like a judge, and if that happens, chances are it will go in your favour. It will be positive, so that's good. Right, that was April. May, we have the Strength card. This is very, very positive. The Strength card is about finding the discipline inside yourself to achieve something or grow or do something that may be difficult. Overcoming things. My eyes are really, really drawn to the infinity symbol above the lady's head. When that comes on a tarot card, it means that there's a divine knowledge can be passed down to you. So not all the cards have this. The Magician has it. This card has it. I can't remember the other cards that have it, but if you look at the tarot cards, you'll see some of them. Sometimes they'll have an infinity symbol above the head. This means there's a capacity for the divine to give you information. So that's also a possibility here in May for you. But generally speaking, the Strength means if you've been sick, you'll get better, and you'll get better quickly now. If you are trying to develop a skill in something, you'll get better at it very, very quickly. But generally speaking, in the way that she's taming the lion, it means you're getting control of the beast inside of you, so you can be more disciplined, be more consistent to achieve the things that you want. I find the type of people that I know, when they really want something, that it's not that hard for them to get to that place where they can be disciplined and can be consistent. Now, that's just the type of people that I know. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments, and I'll take it back. Right, so that's May. June, the world is your oyster. In the early stages of figuring stuff out, sometimes this card can mean you're considering a partnership with somebody, like a work partnership, or thinking about going on travels or working abroad, or setting something up that is in your own country of origin and some other country of origin, or something that's potentially international. The world is your oyster because you have the world in your hand. So it's a very, very positive card. And it looks like June could be a time where you lay your plans for the summer. And that does extend into July, of course, as we have the card of speed and synchronicity. So this is positive, also to travel as well and communications. The Eight of Wands is about positive coincidences that happen to help you out in your circumstances, no matter what's happening. These things will be surprises, usually. People you haven't heard from in a while could message you and just help you out and provide, could provide guidance or resources, or just information that helps you on your way. So it's a very positive card, that. So that takes us, that's July, and that takes us to August, and we have the Five of Cups. Now, this one isn't as positive as the previous few cards. This card says, I'm not happy, I'm sad, I'm grieving, I've faced a loss, and I'm struggling with how to deal with this loss. So if you look at the card, you can see that there are 3 cups that are spilt and 2 that are standing, but the 2 that are standing are behind him, and he's not focused on those ones that are standing. It just means that your perspective has shifted to all the things that have gone wrong as opposed to the things that are still working. And as you begin to shift that focus to the things that do work, once you regain your attitude of gratitude, things begin to shift again. But sometimes you need time, and I'm not a massive person that tries to force you out of that, because I think grieving, if you need to grieve, is not a positive thing. If you need to grieve, it's a necessary thing. So give it its due time and space. But I also know people who've gotten stuck in grieving for decades, and I don't think that's healthy. I don't think they're tiger people either, though, so that's good. The people that have gotten stuck, no, I'll leave that. So yeah, that was August. That was August. September, we have the star card. So this is that card of make a wish wish could come true. This is a very positive card, and interestingly enough, the star card equates to Aquarius. Aquarius equates to tiger. So this is kind of your card. So this card says things are shifting internally, but they're not showing yet. So this coming after the grief card kind of makes sense. It could be that you've sort of taken a back seat for a while and you just need to process stuff. And you have shifted your focus in a positive way, and you're beginning to focus on all the good things in your life, and allowing yourself to be more openly vulnerable, which tigers don't like. They're very good at putting on a poker face. Lady Gaga, also tiger, by the way. Tiger Aries. But anyway. So it's just a time where your poker face may not be there, because you want your friends and your close ones and your loved ones to know how you're feeling, because maybe you need to express stuff. I feel like that could come towards the end of September, but there'll be a period of time where you're just in your head again before that happens. But it's okay, you're shifting in a positive direction. October, we've got the Five of Wands. Now, this is a playful struggle. This card comes when you're in let's say you're in a work environment where you've got your boss and other senior people, and you have to be seen to make a good impression. But you can't really be yourself, because if you're yourself, then the impression might not be what they need it to be. So you just put on a happy face and you present the professional version of yourself. But sometimes you're in conflict with other people and you just have to wear that face, And that's what this card says. This says you smile even though inside you that's not how you're feeling. You have to do the right thing in this moment. So that's going to be an interesting month. That's October. November, we have the Page of Swords. Now, this is one of the 4 cards of narcissism. This is kind of a borderline energy. So this could be somebody in your life who is exhibiting erratic behavior, aggressive behavior. They could be rude. They could be insulting. So it could be somebody like that who's in your environment and that you have to deal with. Or it could be that you're exhibiting those behaviors. So if it is, that's something you need to work on. But if it is somebody like that who's around you, you need to manage them, handle them, or if you can, if there's not somebody that's close in your family or friends or whatever, show them the door. If you can do that, then do that. December, we have the Ten of Wands, which means you've taken on more than you can handle. This card often comes up when people just keep work. They keep on taking more jobs, even though they can ask for help, they don't ask for help, and so they end up having to do everything by themselves. Or they feel like they have to do everything by themselves. So if that's happening, either ask for help, request that they don't give you so much jobs, and don't welcome them, don't take them on board. But January 2027 is very, very positive, because we've got the 9 of Pentacles. Now this is the woman that is able to live her life on her own terms. She has lots of resources, lots of money, and she can spend it doing things she enjoys. So this would suggest that January 2027, you may travel, you may go somewhere, you may spend a bit of money doing something you really have wanted to do for a while, and you really enjoy yourself. So, sheep year is always, as we head into the 2027, sheep year is good for tigers, especially romantically. So that's also very positive. Yeah, that's the month by month for the tiger sign in 2026. If you want to book a reading with me and have a session where we look specifically at your circumstances and I'll answer your questions, then you're welcome to do that. Have a look at the description for my contact details, and also there should be a little something going below the screen right now so you can take that information there. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoy 2026. The rabbit. This is the reading for the rabbit signs in 2026, which is the year of the horse. So in February, we have a blessing in disguise. This is the Four of Cups. Now, when this card comes, it's possible that you will be offered an opportunity which you're like, that's a bit meh, that's not really what I wanted. And you're not sure whether you should take it or not. You're like, well, I've done so much work. Why have they given me that as an outcome? Or maybe they give you a bonus, and the bonus isn't what you were expecting. But there's a blessing in disguise in all of this. So what the card suggests is that consider taking the opportunity. It could lead you somewhere else. Take the offer. It could take you somewhere else in a positive direction. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's up to you. If you don't take it, you'll go in a different direction. It's your choice. But it's good to be made an offer anyway. Just generally speaking, this card means when you're in a bit of a rut and you feel like no matter what I do, things aren't changing. Things are the same. It's more of the same, and I'm bored and I'm frustrated. I want something changed. I want something to change. I want something exciting to happen, something that I can look forward to. And right now you feel like there's nothing there. And then the thing that you offered is more of the same. You're like, but, it could be something good. So it's up to you. March, we've got the Death card, the 13th card. Now, the Death card is very interesting. What this card says is that which no longer serves you will be taken away. That will leave your life now. And you create the space for something better to enter. March 2026 is that sort of energy. It's also a very highly psychological time. So it might also highlight to you some patterns of behavior that either yourself or other people are engaging in, which has been causing some issues. So it could be a time where you're able to understand the circumstances, and perhaps that's what gives you the spur to clear things from your life that no longer have a purpose being there anymore. So I feel like March could be quite powerful for you. It's also the sign of Pisces, and Pisces equates to rabbit, so it's a little bit of your energy mixed with the horse energy there. April, this is very positive. We have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups card is about celebrations, joyful situations, weddings, births, birthdays, all the things that people go and celebrate for. In addition to that, it's a card of abundance. There's lots of things to be grateful for. Being with friends. It's also success in the arts. Now, if let's say you've released a book, this could herald a positive point where you make it on the bestsellers list or something like that. But it's a peak point in creative success, and this is April 2026 for you rabbit people. So May, we have the card of the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords is a card of vampirism, energetic vampirism. People are taking energy from you. Now, it's happens so often to rabbit people. Because they are good batteries, because they are warm, they're nurturing, they're caring, they're loving, they offer such good advice, they understand situations, and they want to be of service to people, but not to their detriment. Rabbits have a very self-protective mechanism thing, and if somebody takes too much, they find a way to draw a line and be off. So something like that may be necessary in May, because this Seven of Swords is a energetic thief who's around you, who's taking more than you're prepared to give. So you may need to be assertive, or you may just need to figure out a way to remove yourself. And that leads us on to the next card of here in June, which is the card of rest, respite, and retreat. And this is the Four of Swords. So you see he's lying there in a church or a vestibule or something. So this card says that I'm depleted. I just need some time to rejuvenate, and I'm struggling to do that when I'm around people, because I'm so used to giving that people are just naturally, when I'm there, they don't realise that they take a toll on my energy. So perhaps I just need to be by myself a little bit to rejuvenate, so I have the energy to be there for other people, but also be there for me. And potentially figure out new patterns of behaviour that I can exhibit to keep people, to let people know that I need stuff as well, you know. So that's now, as we move into the next month, that does make sense. So that was May, June, July. So as we head into July, this card of the Page of Cups is like a adolescent phase. This card comes when you're feeling excited about life, when you feel like everything is new, everything is exciting. I'm going to fall in love for the first time. It's that sort of energy. And once you've rejuvenated yourself and you're like, I'm not going to let people take more than I'm prepared to give to them, it's like life begins to shift and begins to flower for you. So this is really positive. Horse years are pretty good for rabbit people, by the way. So that's something I didn't mention. I mean, certain signs will struggle with it, but rabbit signs, they have quite a decent year in horse years. So that's really positive. July. August, now we have the King of Wands, so this is also really positive. This could symbolise like a father figure or a paternal figure, somebody who offers you advice and guidance when you need it. It could be you yourself stepping into that role. But when this card comes, it does mean an increase in your assets, or an increase in your the value of your assets. It can mean that. Sometimes he's a business advisor, sometimes he's an arts advisor, but it's somebody that can give you advice to direct your work in a positive way and make more money from it, and increase your resources as a result. So this is very positive. It could be you working with other people, or it could be you going to somebody for that advice, or maybe getting it. It could even be something coming online or whatever, but the information is received that has that impact. So that's really positive. September, we've got the Sun card. Now, the Sun is one of the best cards in the pack. This says, I let my inner child out free, and my inner child enjoys itself. It's running free and just loving life. And I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel loved, and I just feel like the world is mine, and I'm meant to be here, and I belong. So this is a really wonderful, beautiful card. And September will be good. September should be very good for you. And if there are any issues in September, you'll handle them with such grace that people will just love you even more. October, we have the Chariot card. Now there's a run of decent cards here, like here from the summer into the autumn. So we've got the Page of Cups. That from that time where you sort of retreat and figure out how to assert yourself. From that period, so that was June. From June onwards, we've got a run of 6 months where the cards are fantastic. So we've just had the September card, the Sun card. October, we've got the Chariot. Now the Chariot is one of the 3 cards of victory, but it means I will balance my yin and my yang polarities. And I will use my masculine and feminine energies, my positive and negative, and understand them and work with them in such a not even a positive and negative way. It's like the way it's meant to be. You're meant to use them in that way. The yin and yang, if you see the image, it's not static. It's constantly evolving into the one, and then into the other one, and then into the other one, and then into the other one. It's are constantly evolving from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. That's how the world works. And that's how the chariot card works. Because what you do is you balance using your masculine and feminine energies in the way that they need to be used for you to be productive. And this card shows you how to do that, or it illustrates that whole mode of being. So after the Sun card, in September, in October, you are working at your optimum. You just know how to do it. You charm people, you get them on side, they help you with your projects, you get the funding you need if you need to, you get promotion. It's a really positive time. So we had the September, we had October, and now November. Now we have the Magician card. Now this is really positive as well. So and it's interesting that that it's come now, because this card is the card of manifestation. I use the law of attraction to manifest things that I want consciously. It's always working anyway, so it's always working unconsciously. But when you use it consciously, it gives you a sense of power. And people looking at you thinking, how is this person doing this? It looks like magic, but it's not. It's manifestation. And November will be powerful. So we've had a run of 6 months of really, really positive cards. Now, December is a bit of a shift. So what happens in December is that, a bit like the Death card that came in March, we've got the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a form of ending. What this card says is that whether you like it or not, this is going. And sometimes you've been hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, and you're like, I just don't want to let this thing go, because there's a connection to the past. You've maybe invested so much time and energy into something, and it's like, I don't want to lose this. But it served its purpose. It maybe wasn't a good investment. You have to let it go. And December is the time for that to happen. It's, something will come to an end. It needed to end. And might not be comfortable. With this card, it's not always comfortable. Might not be comfortable, but it's necessary. So December could be tough. January 2027. Now, this is the card of healing. We've got the Lover's card. This Lover's card has two main interpretations: healing and romantic love. So January 2027 is likely to be positive as we're heading into the sheep year, which is one of your best friends. So that environment is I mean, the horse isn't bad, but the sheep is good for you guys. So the environment shifts to one that you begin to understand. You understand better. You're naturally acclimatized to that sort of warmth and creative environment. The horse year might be a bit too fast for you. You like to take your time with things, but the horse year doesn't give you time, generally speaking. Certain signs will get time, but that's probably why you have to hide away in that vestibule, because the pace of life maybe it got too fast for you. But by the end of the year, as we shift to the sheep year, things will be better for you, and you'll realise that actually, generally speaking, your year's gone pretty well. It's just some resistance that we all have to face, unfortunately. But this is life. This is life. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that gives you guidance throughout the year. What I tend to do is I'll watch it at the beginning of the year, but as I enter a new month, I will go back and I'll watch the video myself and see what's happening month by month. So you feel welcome to do that. I find that helps me, especially when I'm going through stuff. I'm like, what did I say that month? And then I'll check it, and I'm like, damn, that makes sense. All right, but thank you very much for watching. And if you would like a reading with me, you can find information in the description box and also at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to book a reading, come and have a chat. Let's see what's happening with you specifically. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. This is for the dragon sign in 2026, which is the year of the horse. So the horse year runs from the 17th of February till the 6th of February. Wait, let me say that again. The horse year runs from the 17th of February 2026 to the 6th of February 2027. So what we're looking at is February to 26 to January 27. So the first card that we have for February 26th is the Three of Swords. Now, this card means that you might be hurting, you might be in pain, or something happens which causes a bit of difficulty, an emotional difficulty, but you're busy and life carries on. So unfortunately, you don't have the time to stop and give time to that grief. Unfortunately, you just basically have to carry on, and yeah, you can see in that card there's rain in the background as well, but you just got to keep moving. The time you'll hopefully get time in this year at some point so that you can stop and process, but not likely to be in February 2026. As we move to March, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this queen looks after her own assets, looks after herself, looks after all those things that are under her charge in a very, very meticulous way. She looks after other people as well, but what's hers is more important. And she's building the ideal circumstances around her. And you may find that you do that in March in a variety of ways. Sometimes people find themselves, when they do a spring clean or they do a declutter or they're redoing all their home environment, they're painting the walls or whatever it is to make the environment more them. That's the sort of thing that will happen in March for you. April, we have the Knight of Swords. Now, already we're in a horse year. The horse is one of the fastest signs. And then when this card comes up, it speeds things up even more. There are two cards of speed. The Knight of Swords, which is here in April, May, June, July, and also July as well. So this is the Eight of Wands. So this is the other card of speed. So the two cards of speed, which is the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Swords, and you've got them both in your spread here. So what that means is that there will be times of this year where things are moving so quickly that you don't have time to catch your breath. And I know that dragons are quite used to that sort of way of being, but my understanding is from the dragon people that I know is they don't want to live like that anymore. They really just want to stop and savor the moment and enjoy life. But horse year, there's just going to be so many things happening that you're just going to have to keep up with the pace. And April was going to be an example of that. It can also mean the Knight of Swords is one of the four cards of narcissism as well. So it can mean that there's difficult people around you and you have to step carefully to navigate them. I think learning about narcissism and people with toxic traits, I think learning about this stuff is so important. I think everybody should learn about it so they know what they're dealing with when they see it. And also to be an ally to people who are dealing with it, but you might not deal with it yourself, but somebody you love or somebody you care about might have to deal with it. But if you don't know what you're dealing with, it's very easy for you to think that's not see it accurately. And because you're the dragon sign and people often come to you with their issues and their woes, and you tend to have a position of authority in the social world, it would be good for dragons to be up on this stuff, really. So, sorry for that little detour, but it's important. I think it's important. So, right, April, May. We've got the King of Swords. Remove the emotion. Make the decision based upon the facts alone. This card also comes when a strategy is required. If you have a goal in front of you, there could be a treacherous journey to achieving that goal. So you may need to actually make a little map and make a little route to how you've got to handle this, got to handle this before you get to the ultimate outcome. So sometimes it's about sitting down and creating a little route and with all the challenges that might come up that you may have to face to achieve your goal. But go for it, make it happen. Dragons are very good at manifestation. June, we have you leaving a situation. There's sometimes a sadness attached to this card, the six of swords, but you're going from one state of balance to a new state of balance. It's an interesting card because it's a necessary shift. And oftentimes people know that they need to make this shift for a while before they finally make it. And it is sad when they do it. The things that they were scared of happening, which is why they don't take the action earlier, does happen. But there's greener pastures on the other side, so you just have to do it. Sometimes this card can just mean travel as well. So this is June. It can mean traveling in June. July now, we've got the card of speed and synchronicity. As I said, there's 2 cards of speed. So that would suggest to me that the pace of life is going to speed up for you again. And you're like, oh gosh, I can't even catch my breath. But it's a positive month where there's really positive coincidences that work out for your favour. And so that's a synchronicity, right? And also important communication. So if you've been waiting for a communication from somebody, it finally comes. If you want to try something that's a little bit outside of the box and people would not see you as that sort of person, it's a good time to try it, because there's all kinds of energies that will support. What am I trying to say? With this card, the Speed and Synchronicity card, it's a little bit magical. So if you want to do things that are unusual or a little bit risky, then do it, because with this energy that's there for you, it's like a blanket of luckiness. So go for it. Play the lottery. September, we've got the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is very, very positive for... This is the card of the home and the home and hearth. Hearth. I never said that word right. Hearth. Anyway, home environment, setting up your space. I think it was a bit like the Queen of Pentacles like I was saying in March time. But at this point in autumn, August, summer, sorry. It's a good time for, if you see that the card, they're also undertaking harvest as well. So it is very much a summary card. This card says, I am grateful for everything that I have. I have a great foundation. It's a 4 card, so it's always about foundations. And I choose to build from here and grow, and also be content in my home life, but also recognize that I'm part of a community. So this card often comes up when you've got a lot of blessings, but it is now also time to reach out into make new connections with people who are going to be around you as well. So it's a very positive card, a very warm card, kind of insular, but kind of not, because you're opening up that connection between you and your partner, or your family, or whatever it is that you have, into new environments, and starting to connect with new people. Right, that was August. September, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is it's a card where there's a lot of emotion. This card is about worry. It's about the inability to sleep, insomnia, overthinking, and generally speaking, this card is like worried about something that never materializes, and so. What can you do to slow your mind, slow your thinking, to stop your worry, to make you realize that what you're worried about may never happen, and this is just something that is weighing on you because of the fear that has been stoked inside of you. So as you lose that fear and you have more trust in the divine, then the energy of this card dissipates. So here we are in September. To me, there's a heavy feeling in my stomach when I look at this card, and I feel like for the dragon sign, it feels like I'm having to do something I really don't want to do, and I don't know how to get out of it. Well, as I say that, my feeling on this card and the situation is that it's not as bad as you think, and as you start to do it, you'll realize you can just get through it. It will be relatively easy. You go into autopilot mode and you know how to handle these things. But as you're not in the moment yet and you're thinking about it, that's when the problems are. That's when the problems occur. It could be to do with difficult people. It could be to do with a difficult situation, circumstances, and just your fears are stoked at this time. So do the things that you have done previously in the past to manage that, and just realize it's not as bad as you think. If you can catch your breath long enough to have that message be heard when you're overthinking. And sometimes you just have to let yourself overthink. And if you can't sleep, you can't sleep. Just do the deep breathing. There's a 4x4x4 which helps me a lot, which is take a deep breath for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and breathe out in 4 seconds. That helps me. And if you do find yourself in a situation where you're overthinking and struggling, try that. Hopefully that has a positive impact. Right, so that was September. October, we have the Six of Cups. Now, this is a card of children. It could be that you're around children at that time. It could be that you're allowing your inner child freedom to explore creative passions that you had when you were a child. But this is it's a playful, fun card, and it's a card that allows you to feel free. And your energy is high vibration at this time. Your energy it goes up. So it's interesting it's come on the heels of that card, the Nine of Swords, because whatever's happened there, it's made you realise that life's not worth going to that place and being like that. So at this point, this is like the opposite energy, that the playfulness, the joy, the fun. You return to a childlike phase and you just enjoy yourself. So November is kind of work oriented now. This is a Three of Wands. This is a card of abundance, but also work, often self-employment. So this card is about when you've done the work, you've sent out the let's say leaflets, and you're waiting for people to come back to buy the product. So that's where we're at. So there's a waiting before the results come in, but it's excitement as well, and the results do come in. So that's also positive. December. Now, this card is the card of grief and sadness, focused on the loss, focused on the grief rather than the positives that are also around you. But, you know, it is what it is. December's a really interesting month because along with Christmas and that festive period, it's quite common that people have lost people that they love around that sort of time. November, December time is quite common. So at the same time as celebrating, there's this sadness that comes along with it for a lot of people, and this card symbolises that quite well because they're focused on the cups that are spilt as opposed to the cups that are still standing. But you know, grief is grief, and you have to give it its time and space as long as you don't get stuck in it. January. Now we've got the Two of Wands. Now this is a card of travel. This is a card that says that the world is my oyster. You could be offered a contract or a partnership or some sort of opportunity could come your way, and you're in the early stages of that. With this card, it does say look at the contract in detail. What do they say? Cross the T's, dot the I's, make sure that everything is above board, because we're still in the early stages. It's still a fetus right now. It hasn't grown beyond that. And so make sure that the foundations are solid before you head into it too quickly. So that's January as we head into the sheep year, into 2027. But I hope that gave you some information about what is on the way for you for the horse year. And I hope you like that. If you would like to have a personal reading with me over Zoom, then the information can be found in the description box. But also there's some information, probably scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now, that you can contact me and we can book a reading. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. This is the reading for the snake sign in 2026, which is the horse year. So, snakes, as we come out of your year, it has been tough. I know most snake people that I know have had a tough time this year. It feels like they're carrying an energetic load for other people. There's been people that they love who are struggling with illness or with difficulty or with grief. And of course, you also have that grief yourself. Sometimes it's you that's having the illness or the struggling, but you just don't feel yourself And this snake here, isn't it ironic that you don't feel yourself in the snake here? It's a strange... That last snake here was really unusual. Like, even for me, it felt like a snake year at parts, but it didn't feel like a snake year for most of the year. So it almost felt like a wild card year. Like it wasn't snake year, and the snake year got pipped or something. I don't know. But it's been a strange one for you guys, and I feel like the snakes haven't really gotten into their power, and man, do they hate that, because snakes can find their power in many different ways, whether it's at work or whether it's through through meditation, spiritual practices. They're masters at that. That's why there's so many spiritual masters that are snake signs. So when you're in an environment that's supposed to be your environment, but it feels so alien and painful, has a strange lasting impact as we come out of it. But look, we're coming out of it. Right now this is being filmed on the 10th of January 2026. Chinese New Year of the Horse starts on the 17th of February and 2026, and that will run until the 6th of February 2027. So yeah, let's just get into it. So this is the horse year prediction for the snake sign. Now, I'm going to start from February. So the first card that we have is a Three of Wands. Now, when this card comes, this is a positive card for abundance, bringing in money, having resources. It's that card that comes when you've done all the work, you've sent out the fleet, and they will come back with the goods. They'll come back with the profit. The profit is what you're waiting on now. And so it feels like the work has been done and you're just waiting for the positive returns. And they will come. They will come. So that's February. March, we've got the Hierophant card. Now, this is the card of institutions, traditions. It's a card of marriage, churches. It's also the card of secret knowledge. So if you are if you are interested in the esoteric and the occult or niche knowledges, that doesn't make sense, does it? Niche things. Gosh, that's so vague, but you know what I mean. Niche things. Then this month of March is a time where your knowledge could increase, because you might find that the right person has got the information you're looking for. You might find a book or some sort of way that the information can come to you. And what I've observed is that it's never by accident. Sometimes information comes to you at a time where you're not ready to use it yet, but years down the line you'll be like, oh, that's why I needed to learn that at that point. Why at this point we don't know, but down the line you'll realise it was necessary. So Justice is the card that we've got for April. Now this card can mean that if you're engaged in a legal battle, it will go in your favour. If you might actually be asked by somebody in your social group or family group to be like the arbiter, be like the judge in a situation, to see what is fair and what should be done. But the Justice card is an interesting card because it asks you to... I know in this card, Justice isn't blind, in this card. But generally speaking, it's like, just look at the facts of the situation and don't let your emotions get inside of it. And snakes are quite good at doing that when it's not about themselves. When it's about other people, they're quite good at doing that. So maybe something like that happens. So, okay, May, we've got the Magician card now. The Magician is one of the cards of manifestation. And it also has the infinity symbol above the head, which means you get divine guidance. When you see that on a tarot card, it means divine guidance can come. So you could have a dream, or an intuition, or a knowing, or maybe even a vision, sometimes visitation as well, There's all these things. And snakes are open to this sort of stuff. They have powerful energy, big presence, and they're naturally inclined towards the spiritual. It's interesting that this card, people that that are snake signs often work in banking institutions, financial institutions, real estate things. So it feels like they're very left brain, but actually they might work in those environments and they still have a spiritual bent. So it's this month of May will be a powerful time for manifestation, and so yeah, do the spiritual work, do the law of attraction work. June, we have the star card. This is also to do with manifestation. What it says really is more to do with manifestation of the person. So if I want to be this sort of person and I'm doing the work, all that work is being done underground, and then eventually it shows itself. So what the star card says is it's nearly time for the new reveal. So the snake will shed its skin and will be renewed once more, and that's likely to happen May-June time. You may sort of come out with a new identity. Not really, it's still you, but reinvent yourself somewhat, because you're doing it for yourself and for your own enjoyment. You might have a haircut you've never had before, and see how that makes you feel. But yeah, it's you have been shifting, you've been changing, you've been allowing yourself to grow in new ways, reading new things, possibly just trying new things, trying new hobbies, going to places where you meet the different kind of people, different caliber of people, and this is having a positive impact just across the board. And the other close people in your life are going to now see the repercussions of those changes, and I think they're going to be positively surprised. And those who have a bit more jealousy, they might struggle with it, but those who don't, they're going to welcome this and just be really happy for you. So July, we've got the card of the Nine of Pentacles. Now this is the single woman who has lots of resources and time and energy to do the things that she loves. So in this picture she's doing falconry, but you could do whatever it is that you want. So I think July will be a very positive time where you're able to enjoy yourself in the pursuits you really like, even if they're expensive. You've got the resources and the time and the wherewithal to go and do it. So go and do it. And I think you'll enjoy yourself. It'll be great. August, we have the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card is very snake, because it is the phoenix who rises from the ashes, is reborn again, like the snake who sheds its skin. So the Judgment card means you're being called to a vocation that is truly your own. So oftentimes when this sort of card comes, people will find themselves shifting in a work environment and either adding new things or completely saying, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to go and do something different. Or they just get given different tasks at the current work job. Maybe they change job at the same organisation. But this card says, come and serve in the way that the divine sent you to serve, and sometimes that happens outside of work, But this is a positive time of that, in that vein. September. Now this is very positive. This is the card of the Ten of Pentacles, which is about financial growth, the peak of the financial suit, the pentacle suit. So the 10 here, I spend time with the people I love, I spend time in environments I love, with animals. It's just everything around me serves me, and I derive a sense of joy and pleasure from all of this. Money is positive in this month. Also, opportunities are there, but it feels like you want to take a little bit of time out for yourself, because this is I always think of this as a country environment. So it feels like you can be in an environment where you can relax and have a slower pace of life for a little while. That's September. But it's a very positive card. Also, it is to do with real estate as well. And so if you're thinking about buying something, that might be a good time. October, there's a certain level of restriction here. Your arms are tied, you're blindfolded, but your feet are free. So you do have movement, you do have opportunities and options of places where you can go, but you might not realise it because you don't see it, but you can feel it. And sometimes this card comes when you feel like you can't do stuff because other people are pressuring you to be a certain way, and because of the circumstances you can't be entirely free, but you can orchestrate it so that you can be freer. And that's the key to this card. And then eventually you can remove yourself altogether, which it looks like is happening the next month, because look at the card. It's the Six of Swords. So we're transitioning from one state of balance to a new state of balance or a different state of balance. Sometimes this card can come up when you're traveling. This is November, by the way, November 2026. So there may be some travel for you in November 2026. Sometimes this card comes with a twinge of sadness as well, because you're leaving something behind, and there's a sense that you may not be able to recapture that thing again. But it is what it is. You have to let go and move on. December, we have the Four of Swords. Now this is the card of rest, recuperation, and rejuvenation, and retreat, and lots of R words. You're tired. There's been a lot that's been happening, and you just need some time to rest and catch up. So, this December could be quite a restful one for you, where you need sleep and you need time. And it feels like there'll be positive people around you, but that those who understand you and will give you the space that you need. It doesn't feel. It feels really positive, actually. It feels rejuvenating. That seems to be the word. And then in January 2027, we've got the Eight of Cups, which is I'm fed up of the power imbalances, and I will no longer tolerate them, and I choose to leave rather than deal with the unfairness of the situation. The Eight of Cups tends to be like, I'm not doing this anymore, sorry, bye-bye. So that is 2026 for the snake sign. If you would like a personal reading, then get in touch. The details are in the description box, or you can see on the little ticker running at the bottom of the screen here. Get in touch, and I'll do a personal reading for you, and we can have a chat and see what's happening. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon. This is the prediction for 2026 for the horse sign in the horse year. So, here we are. I think I've already done a bit of an introduction for the horse ears because it's horse year. So I'll just get on with the predictions now. So, because the Chinese New Year starts on the 17th of February 2026 and goes all the way up to the 6th of February 2027, I'm starting with February. So February for the horse sign in the horse year, the first card we got here is the Lovers. Now the Lovers has two main interpretations. The first interpretation is that of romantic love. If you're single, this could be a very lucky time to meet somebody. If you're already in a partnership, it can mean a deepening of the relationship. And sometimes it's not even about just the lover's side of things. It could be to do with other relationships, parent-child, friends. A variety of relationships can move to a deeper level when this card comes. The other main interpretation for the Lovers card is that of union with self, so healing, aligning with your higher self. Your human self aligns with your higher self, or your inner self, however you want to say it. But basically, it means there's a union of self of sorts. So if you had an illness or if there's been some problems, you find that they kind of sort themselves out at this time. So if that's the case, February could be a very lucky time or positive time for health and growth. Right, let's move on to March. March, we've got the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is the peak point of emotional maturity. So now this could be somebody you go to for advice, or it could be you being asked to step into that role of being the emotionally mature person. Perhaps you provide guidance to other people. It's actually made me think of somebody I know, because it's March time as well, and it's horse year, so it's horse Pisces time, and he's a psychologist actually. You've probably seen some of my videos with him, but this could illustrate him, the King of Cups. He could be the King of Cups. But this is somebody who's very psychologically astute, somebody who understands the functioning of the human being and the whys of that. So So like I say, this could be you, or it could be somebody you go to because there's an issue that you want to resolve or understand, and it might be that there's nobody else outside of you, or somebody else, but yet this issue gets resolved anyway, or understood. I think understood is more important than resolution with this card. As such, complete resolution sometimes takes longer, but once you get an understanding, that's the starting point. So I feel like March in 2026 for you could be quite a revelatory time where you learn more about yourself. Alright, April. Now April, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is you cutting off a situation and deciding that it's better for you just to leave. There's power imbalances here and you don't like them. You don't want to be around them. So you've decided it's better just to cut your losses and go. So April could be a tough time, but also a freeing time for you as you let go of that stuff that has served its purpose. May, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now the Five of Pentacles is about feeling on the outside of things. There's two main interpretations: money worries and feeling neglected, feeling like people don't understand you, they're not caring about you, they're not thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves or other matters, and you just feel like, what about me? What about me? Don't I matter? Don't I have any reason for being in your life here? So there's a few learning lessons when this card comes. First of all, self-sufficiency. Being able to be as independent as you can, and also to make those first moves towards getting yourself back on track. But also, don't be afraid to ask for help, because there is a community there if you could just have the humility to actually approach it. So those are two main lessons that come to the fore when this card comes up. But the other thing I would just say is that you're not alone. There are people around you that do care for you, but because the horse is so strong and has such a sort of an attitude of independence, people don't know to ask you if you're okay. So I think that also could be a part of it. Let your vulnerability show sometimes. If you don't let your vulnerability show, how can somebody be there? How can somebody be there for you to lean on their shoulder if they don't know that you need that? So, and I'm being a bit of a hypocrite because I'm a bit like that too. But still, I'm learning that there's a place for vulnerability in my life, and there is for you too. June, we have the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is a really lovely card because this is that phase when you're growing up, that phase of adolescence where everything is new and exciting. And in some way, you may return to that. So some sort of experience may make you feel like, wow, this is amazing and new and fresh, and I haven't experienced this in a long time. So it's a really fun, joyful time where you have that sense of freshness and newness and excitement for something that you haven't experienced before. So it'll be a positive time. July could be interesting because we have the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords denotes an ending. So, something that you've been clinging on to, that you know you should say goodbye to. And it's possible that you've had a few opportunities to say goodbye, and you haven't taken it. And now it's got to the point where the divine has said, no more, we're taking this from you. So a situation has come to its natural end, and you may have clung to it for longer than you should have. And so the universe has decided, now we're taking this out of your hands. And it comes to an end in July, which again may be tough, but it's necessary and it ultimately is in your favour. August, the Ace of Wands. Now this is a very, very positive card that it indicates some sort of entrepreneurial thing that could happen, that if you so choose, because it's an entrepreneurial month for you. So it speaks of, like, if you want to start a new business, if you want to start a new project, it's positive in those regards. It's also something that comes up when somebody is conceiving a child. So if that's your desire, your goal, August in 2026 is a positive time to start for that or try for that. So, and also, I will say that goes into September as well, because September is also an ace, also a 1 card, the Ace of Cups. So both of those cards can actually symbolise the birth of a child, right, or the conception of a child. So for those of you horse people that want to have a child, that's positive omen, and also it means you'd have a child born in the sheep year, which is your soulmate sign, which is very compatible with a horse parent. So get on it. The Ace of Cups for September also denotes a positive time where my cup runneth over with positive emotion. It's a really good card for just being emotionally fulfilled. People seeing you, hearing you, understanding you. You feel like the people around you are good, positive people who you feel supported by them and loved by them. So this is really positive, you know. After that cutting off in July, it feels like the people around you, the environment has become really supportive and loving and warm. Okay, moving on to October, we've got the Judgment card. Now the Judgment card is akin to the rising of the phoenix. Having crashed and burned, from the ashes you are reborn. So it feels like you feel freer to be who you actually are. Also, another meaning of this card can be that you're pulled to a vocation, to a job, or you want to serve in a way that you were made to. So it feels like you're stepping into the role that the universe or the divine had gave you when you came. Not provided for you. You came with this one, and it's like the activation point where now is the time that you can serve in the way that you were meant to and you were made for. So that's really positive. That's October. November, we've got the card of the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is a card of abundance. It's one of the cards of abundance. But what this card says is, I've done all the work, I've sent out my fleet, and I'm waiting for the profits to return. So yeah, there's a period of waiting for the results, but you know that you've done your part. So that's really positive as well. The December card we've got is the Nine of Pentacles. Now this is the single woman who does everything on her own terms. Now in this pack, in this image here, she's got a falcon on her finger. So she's into falconry, which is an expensive sport, or not sport, but engagement. And she does it because she has the wherewithal to do it. So this is a time where you have money to spend. Obviously it's December, it's Christmas time and festive period. But it's a time that you can do in some style, because financially things have been good. So it's a positive month and positive year for finances actually. So if it's been a struggle, this could be a year of stability for you. And as we head into the sheep year, we've got the card of death. Now, not to scare you, there's nothing to be afraid of when this card comes. What this card is about, very much like the Ten of Swords, and there's some similarities to the Hangman, some similarities to the Eight of Cups as well. But basically, that which no longer serves you falls away, and you are left with space, so that space can be filled up by the things that do serve you. So now it's a time, as you hit January 2027, it's a time for you to think, what is it that I want now? What do I want to fill my life with? And you can start doing that, start heading in that direction. So it's very positive. Overall, it's a good year, and these cards are pretty good. The only month to be only 2 months that there's some resistance here that I can see is May, and then July. May and July. But apart from that, it's pretty good. It's pretty okay. So pretty good. Hope you enjoy your horse year, horse people, and thank you for watching. If you would like to book a reading with me, the information is in the description box, or you can look at the ticker down here and you'll be able to collect the information that you need. Thank you very much. See you next time. The sheep sign. So this is the prediction for 2026, which is the horse year, but this prediction is for the sheep sign. So because the Chinese New Year runs from the 17th of February 2026 to the 6th of February 2027, we're starting with February. So in February, for you dear sheeps, we have the Three of Swords, which is the card of with a heavy heart, one must carry on. So this card often comes when there's some sort of sadness, there's some sort of slight, somebody's may have hurt your feelings, or something's transpired that's made you sad and possibly a bit grief-stricken. And this is just something that you have to get through. With any three, there's always forward motion. So with this card, even though you're hurting and you're sad and you're in pain, you've just got to get on with it and just move through it. Ideally, you want to spend some time sitting with the feeling so you can feel your way through it. But the card suggests that you don't have the time yet. So that might have to be done at some later point. For now, just get on with what's in front of you, because it seems like there's quite a lot there. March, we've got the card of the Knight of Cups. This guy is the romantic idealist. So he prioritizes his ideals. Now, this could be somebody in your life, or it could be you. More likely, it's symbolized by you in the place you're in at the moment. In March 2026. So there's some warnings with this card, which is make sure that you're seeing clearly, because this guy wears rose-tinted glasses. He sees the best in everybody. So come off of that horse, be more rooted, and see what's really there. That's not to say that, so if you've met somebody at this time, it's not to say that they're bad, but it is saying that your head is in the clouds a little bit. You're a bit happy, joyful, but you run away with yourself a little bit. So calm down and root yourself and see what's actually there. Right, April. Now we've got the card of strength. With this card, if you can see, the lady who's taming the lion has an affinity symbol above her head. What this means, and you'll see there's some other cards as well in the pack that have that. When that comes, it means that there's access for divine knowledge or divine information to come through. So this can be through dreams, through just an inner knowing, or it could be an intuitive knowing or an instinctive thing. It could, any number of ways, but information could come to you at this time. With this card, the interpretation is that you're learning to become more disciplined. You're gaining a strength over yourself, over your faculties, over your what people say areas of improvement. So let's say you're not consistent with things. Well, at this time you'll start being more consistent. If you're procrastinating, then you'll start getting things done. So this card would suggest that those things that are areas of improvement for you, you can begin to apply a bit more discipline, and it begins to sort itself out. If you've been sick, this card says that you'll get your strength back. The situation will improve, and you'll find that you're able to improve your health very, very quickly. So it's a very positive card. April seems like a good time. Moving on to May, we have the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands, this card is about having the higher ground, having the higher perspective, because you're on the higher ground. It also means if somebody's vying for your position, you have the upper hand, you have the advantage. So it's a good card in many respects. If you actually look at the card, there's 6 people below him on lower ground trying to vie for his position, trying to get at him and get his position. And he's above them and is able to, because of his position, is able to fend them off quite easily. Something like that may happen to you this month, but because you're in the position of the higher ground, you'll be able to you'll come out on top, basically. Right, June, we have the 10 of Cups. Now, this is a very happy card, very happy family card. This card denotes joy, happiness, playfulness, being able to be around people who you love and they love you, and you can feel it. It's in the air, it's in the environment. The environment is made so lovely because these people are there, and you can sense the supportiveness there. So it's a beautiful card, it's a beautiful time. So June will be very positive for you. As will July, because in July we have the 7 of Pentacles. Now, this card comes when you're developing your foundation. So you're sowing the seeds for your future success. Still, at that time when you're sowing those seeds, there's such motivation and there's inspiration, and you're excited about those things to come because you've figured out what it is that you want to do and which direction you want to go, and you're starting to sow those seeds. So it comes with... Well, it's not too different from the card before, the 10 of Cups, because that joy carries over, and this excitement, although it's more quieter excitement, is still there. So moving on from July to August now. August, we've got the Eight of Swords. This is the card of restriction. Kind of card of restriction. What it means is that although you're blindfolded, your arms are tied, your legs are free. So in many ways, it's perceived restriction because you may be restricted to a certain degree, but you're not fully restricted. Then there's always things you can do. If you've got option A and option B, think outside the box. Find option C, D, E, F, whatever. You can think outside of the box. If people try to restrict you and give you those options, there's other ways around the situation as well. So that's what this card says. Realize that you're not as restricted as you think you are, and that everything's an illusion. Everything's an illusion. So, although August may be a bit complicated, you have more freedom than you think. September. I just realised we've got the 7 in the 7th month, we've got 7th in July, we've got the 8 in August, and we've got the 9 in September. Even though actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but we use the Gregorian calendar, but actually there should be 13 months of 28 days and 1 extra day for Easter. So actually, between July and August, there is a month called Sol, and that should be, all the months should be 28 days, and there should be 13 months. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Maybe the universe wanted me to throw that into this little conversation that we're having here. 9. The 9 of Pentacles in September, for September. So now this card is about having the financial wherewithal to do things that you really enjoy. Live life on your own terms, live life doing the things that are meaningful to you, even if they're expensive things. This woman's doing falconry. So it's about going out there and paying that money to do those things because they serve your soul. They feed you and make you remember who you are. So it feels like September could be a good time to sort of get back into stuff if you haven't been doing it for a while and it's something that that you enjoy. Get back into it and get that feeling again because it's you. It gives you a sense of you and you should have a sense of you. So, yeah, September could be good. I know what that means for me, being a sheep sign. I know that there's some things that I'm thinking I might start in September or restart because of things I used to do before. Okay, moving on to October. Now, October, we've got the 5 of Pentacles. Now, this is a complicated card. 2 primary meanings: financial issues, and which is weird coming after the 9 of Pentacles because this is a financially abundant card. So I don't feel like it's necessarily financial issues. There's 2 interpretations. So financial issues and feeling neglected. So it could be the latter more than the former. So it feels like to me what the card is saying is that you may feel neglected by those around you, and it could just be perceived. It might not even be actual. Like people may not have done it on purpose. It could just be a perceived thing. Maybe something's happened and you're just feeling a little bit sorry for yourself. So the card says self-sufficiency, make the first move, get yourself out of the rut that you're in. So start listening to more inspirational podcasts or meditations, guided meditations. Listen to something that's inspiring. So that sort of stuff. So it feels like October could be a bit complicated, but if you take the lead on that and ask for help if you need it, then that will be helpful. November, we've got another 9. We've got another positive card of contentment. So this is really positive. So hence why I think it's probably not financial, although people have a variety of issues. So it could be financial, I suppose. This is the 9 of Cups is the card of contentment, but a sense that something's missing, something's not quite right. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. So November, it feels like you have sort of moved out of that neglectful phase, and you're thinking about cultivating an attitude of gratitude. And in doing that, your blessings snowball and makes you realize just how, generally speaking, more things are going good than bad. And as you continue to do that, things snowball in your favour, as we see in December, because we've got the Sun card. Now, the Sun card is one of the best cards in the pack. So it feels like December is going to be really wonderful. For a lot of sheep signs, it feels like you might not be in the UK or your country, your home country. It feels like you could be going somewhere that's of a warmer climate, or if you live in a warmer climate, maybe somewhere that's not so warm, but somewhere different. I think a lot of sheep signs might actually go somewhere else for the Christmas festive period, and even if it's not for the entirety of the festive period, at some point in December. So that's good to know. January 2027, as we head into our own year of the sheep, well, not until the 6th of February, but we're heading there, we've got the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups, she's the nurturing mother. She says, look after yourself. Look after yourself and other people. So she nurtures herself, she nurtures other people. But to be honest, she nurtures other people more than she nurtures herself. But that's something that she needs to work on, and that we need to work on. So this card says that your inner child has needs, and you can't forget them. You have to remember to serve those needs as well. So while you're very cognizant of other people's needs and other people's emotional lives, being the social workery type, you've also got to think about what are my needs, especially for giving to an extent that you're neglecting your own needs. Then that needs to stop, because there needs to be a line, and that line needs to be adhered to like all the time. So in January, there could be something that brings that up that you need to be aware of. So that's something to look forward to. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. If you would like a reading of your own, which we can arrange to do over Zoom, the information is in the description box, or you can have a look at the little ticker going below the screen right now and collect the information, get in touch, and we can arrange for that to happen. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. So this is the prediction for the monkey sign in 2026, which is the horse year. So just having a quick glance at the cards, it looks pretty good. We have very good cards for you in this year. So in February, so bear in mind that the Chinese year starts on the 17th of February and it runs 2026, and it runs until the 6th of February 2027. So we're going to start from February. So the first card we've got is the World card, and the World card is one of the best cards in the pack. The two best cards in the pack is the World card and the Sun card. And so we're starting your reading with this one, what this card means is that you're in tune with the universe. You're in step with it. So the universe has a certain flow, has a certain, what Esther Hicks calls the vortex. And you've entered this year, or you've entered February inside that vortex, which means that you're high vibration. And because you're high vibration, which you've done through meditations and just having positive, you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, and in doing so, your vibration's gotten higher and higher and higher. So right now, you're attracting things, manifesting things relatively quickly. So February is very, very positive for you. Now, as we head to March, we've got the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is one of the cards of study, but it also means an increase in your finances. Not a huge increase, but a small increase. So it's a positive card that denotes that if you're in a mode where you need to learn something, you may find that you need to learn something in detail about a subject. So now's the time to get those books out, or to start doing your research online, or taking a class, because it will feed you and it will serve you later. At the same time, in a work context or in a financial context, finances improve. So it's a positive time. March is positive. As we head into April now, we've got the Empress. Now, she is the patron of creativity. She's also the mother. She's also, like in this card, you see that she's pregnant. Doesn't mean you're all going to be pregnant or have children. But what it does mean is that you're cultivating a project that could take 9 months to come to fruition. So that's a possibility. But she is the patron of creativity, so you find, and abundance as well. So you find that at this time, the things that you need around you or want, little luxuries that you hadn't anticipated, or the things that you have, you'll find that they're the more luxurious versions of those things. So you live a life where the abundance surrounds you, and I hope you can take the time to stop and appreciate it, because it's really nice to have. And so on top of that, your creative projects get the go-ahead. So it's if you want funding for them, or if you just need the space to make them happen, that can also happen here. So April seems really positive for you monkeys in 2026. As we move to May, we've got the High Priestess. Now, she is the Oracle. What this card says is that you may find your intuition is really powerful in May. So on this card, there's the pomegranate. So when you see the pomegranates on the tapestry thing behind her, what that symbolizes is secret knowledge. Now, there's two cards of secret knowledge: the High Priestess and also the High Priest, the Hierophant, which is the fifth card. So here we have the feminine version of that, the High Priestess. So what that would suggest is that the information that you get might not necessarily even be for you, but if it is, there's a period of waiting before you can use that information, or even tell somebody if it's about somebody else. So it's just sit with it and let it mull, and as it mulls, you'll figure out what you're meant to do with that information. All right? A little bit cryptic, but the card is cryptic too. So, right, let's move on. June, we have the Four of Wands. Now, this is the home card. Now, with this card, your people find that they will change their environment, improve their environment, they'll do like a declutter, or they'll start painting the walls, or they'll get new furniture. But basically, it's about creating an environment that's more and more comfortable for you, and it's tailored to your existence and your partner's existence and your family, etc. It can also mean branching out and connecting with the community as well. If you find that you've been a bit insular, it's about creating a life that's fulfilling for yourself, but not just between you and your partner. It's about feeling a part of the community as well. And if you haven't done that, you start to do that. All right? So it's very positive. June is very positive. July, we have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor card is all about boundaries. You have an empire. You've got to protect that. You've got to make sure that people know that they don't overstep the mark, and that they know where your line is. It's a time to make powerful decisions. Sometimes when this card comes up, you're ready to make a leap to your own business or something like that. But it's a time to take action, big action, making sure that the other people around you know what your yeses are and what your nos are, and what you'll tolerate and what you won't. It's a very powerful card. You're in a powerful position, and you need to give guidance to those people around you so they know where you stand. June, July, August. Right, so in August, we've got the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card is the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Everything's crashed and burned, and from the ashes you are reborn. It's also a calling to a vocation that suits you perfectly. It's like a job that was made for you. You can now... So if you're looking for a new job... August would be a great time to find something. I often think, because of August time, I think of the schooling system, and if you work in a school and you're on monkey sign and you want to change that to something different, it would be a good time to do that. So, especially with this card, because this card says that the job that you'll go to, it's like you're made for it. So that's really positive. It's a card of rebirth. So you can choose to go in a new direction. You can reinvent yourself at this time. And it feels like if you reinvent yourself, it won't be like in a fake way. It will be more authentic, because that's the track that you're on. As we head over into September, we have the Nine of Cups, which is the card of contentment. A sense that something may be missing. We haven't achieved perfection, but we've gotten quite close. So this is that attitude of gratitude coming back again. So it's a very positive month. When we get to October now, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, this is the card of enterprise and entrepreneurial spirit. So that, again, so you have the ability to start new things, new ventures. This card often comes up when a child is going to be conceived. So if you're wanting to have children, this is a good time to do that too. But just generally, the entrepreneurial spirit is there for you if you want to grab it and start new things or improve things that have already been in motion. Now is a good time to make some changes, even if they're a little bit drastic. That's fine. Moving on from October to November, we have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is interesting because it's one of the 4 cards of narcissism. Doesn't mean that the archetype is narcissistic as such. It just means that there's a warning for toxic people when this card comes up. So it does something else as well. It speeds up the pace of life. So as a monkey sign, you are equally as fast as the horse sign. They're the 2 fastest signs. So in the horse year, it's going to be a fast year. The monkey is the only other sign that can function with that same level of speed. It seems like in November, for some reason, that month is going to be fast. You're made for it, as luck would have it. If there are toxic people around you, learn a little bit more about narcissism, cluster B personalities, toxic personalities, I would recommend looking at the work of Pete Walker, Dr. Ramani, Richard Grannon, and there's lots of practitioners out there. Lisa A. Romano is also very good, I find. Ross Rosenberg. Check out the work of these people, because they all will give you great advice on dealing with toxic personalities, just in case it is that. Right, December, we have the Lovers card. Now, the Lovers has two main interpretations. One is romantic love, and the other is healing. So, aligning with your higher self. So, this is very positive regardless. Like I said at the beginning, most of these cards are great. The only real issue is the November card, this toxic personality, who might try and take more of your energy or take from you more than you're prepared to give. But, come December, we've already got the healing card, so you it seems like you're quite good at removing yourself from those sorts of environments and keeping those people at bay. So that's really positive, and it feels like the festive period for you will be loving and joyful and fulfilling for you. January 2027, we've got the card of working, apprenticeship, study, improvements. So it could be that you're thinking about some possibly new direction, and if you want to, there'll be a period of time before you can make a decision about that. But it's no. You can make the decision in January if you want, but it'll be a period of time before you can take action on that decision. So and obviously that will be in the sheep year. And that's likely, it's possible for the monkeys to go down a new area of study as we head into the sheep year, but more likely to be like 1 year, not likely to be like 2-3 years. I mean, it's possible as well, but like it feels like for me, for some of you out there that are listening to this, it feels like it will be 1 year, because your evolution will be somewhat complete when we enter your own monkey year, which is 2028. So that's interesting to me. But just generally speaking, it feels like you're going to have a good horse year. Like I said before, you're the only sign that is mentally fast enough to deal with the things that the horse puts in front of people this year. So, it'll be interesting. I hope it's going to be a good one for you. I'm sure it will be. Thank you for watching. And if you want a personal reading, a one-to-one reading, you can find my details in the description. And you can see my details down here in the little ticker, and you can get in touch with me. We can have a chat, and I can pull some cards for you and do your astrology as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, this is the reading for the Rooster sign for 2026, which is the horse year. So, because the Chinese New Year of the horse starts on the 17th of February 2026 and it ends on the 6th of February 2027, I'm not looking at January. We're going to start from February 2026. Okay, so that's what the first card is. And for you, it's the Two of Cups, which is a friendship and a love card in the minor arcana. So usually it's a friendship that turns into love. So this is a very positive card as we start in February. For those of you who are unattached, it's a lucky month to meet somebody of a romantic persuasion. So that's positive. You can go get your groove on in February if that's what you're looking to do. It just means that the energies are there. The auspices are positive for you to meet someone. So put yourself out there. Be positive, and also it can also mean like a deepening of the relationships that you already have. But it's just a positive time for relationships. Now moving on to March, we have the Page of Pentacles. Now this card means that it's possible you want to study something, or you are studying something, and it's just really enriching time of obtaining knowledge for you. But also it can mean an improvement in finances. Nothing major, but a slight improvement in finances, or maybe you get a financial gift or something like that. Moving on to April, we have the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is a blessing in disguise. Some sort of offer may be made to you, maybe a job offer or a bonus or something like that, and it's like, well, this isn't quite what I was expecting. I was expecting something a bit better than this. So you're not sure if you want to take it. Something may have happened that's made you a bit sulky. It's just a bit like, it's not as good as I wanted it to be. So there's sort of this dissatisfaction thing. But the card says just go along with what's happening, and you may find you're led to something better, something greater. But it also says the option is yours. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. If your intuition is saying, no, this isn't for me, then listen to that. So it can go either way. The decision is yours. But the card says taking it may take you somewhere you don't expect. So that's a little note there. May, we have the King of Swords. King of Swords. The King of Swords says, remove all of the emotion and make the decision based on facts. Use your rationality. Don't let emotion get in the way here. It also is the card of strategy. If you want to achieve something, there may be some goals in the way. Now, roosters are pretty perceptive, and they can be calculating when they want to be. It's the sign of the accountant. So if they really want to achieve something, you find that they're quite good at creating a little map for themselves to get there. And the King of Swords says something like that might be useful for you right now. So think about a strategy to achieve the thing that you want and write it down so you have it as a reminder and as what's the word? I knew I was going to forget the word. Like something you can count on. You've got like a plan there, so it just gives you security, like a security blanket. I think that's what I was going to say. 1 second. Right. June, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, this guy now, he says, take care of your mind, body, and spirit. So it's a time for you to think about what aspects of those three are you not serving, have you not been serving, and start taking care of that. Your mind, are you making sure that you're reading books or listening to podcasts or watching TV shows or going to events that is feeding your mind the information that you want to develop a knowledge base on. Your body, are you looking after your health? Are you exercising? Are you going to the gym, or are you doing classes? Are you doing exercise, like sports that you really, really enjoy? Are you taking care of your body? Is your body where it needs to be? If not, then consider your options. And spirit, are you doing the spiritual work? Do you feel connected to the divine in your own way? Or are you doing the manifestational work that you want to, the law of attraction stuff? If you are, then great. If not, then consider what things you can do. Because all of these things, as we do them, make us feel more alive and more full. And this is a reminder of that. Another interpretation of this card is also somebody who acts as a bit of a guardian angel in the physical world, but also in the spiritual world. So it could be that somebody who has passed may be knocking on your door in a metaphorical sense and is just making themselves be heard. So be open to that possibility. And it's positive. I don't want people to get scared. It's a positive visitation if that happens. And sometimes maybe we're also looking at guardian angel in the real life, somebody who has your back, and something happens this month in June where you need somebody to have your back, and they do. So that's also very positive, and makes you realize that you have good friends. Right, let's move on to July. We've got the card of the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is to do with children and play and your own inner child. It's about letting your inner child be free and have those experiences that it may have missed out on when it was a child. So maybe you can do something that's a bit more childlike. Maybe you can go give yourself the joy of painting or writing songs or poetry, whatever it is that you enjoyed as a child. Give yourself the opportunity to do that, especially if you have children yourself. You can do it with them. But it's a positive time of play and joyful exploration. Right, now moving on from that to August. August could be interesting. We have the card of the Seven of Swords. Now, this card is to do with theft, basically. But it's not always a physical theft. More often than not, it's energetic theft. So we're looking at somebody who's a bit of a vampire. And you've got to be aware of the way that people around you make you feel. And if somebody's taking your energy, you feel exhausted after being with them, then that's something that you need to look at and think, why do I keep putting myself in an environment where that happens? So consider the people around you, and if you feel tired in being in their presence, then that's something to reconsider, maybe. All right? There's 4 cards of narcissism, and this is one of them, so that's something to just think about. Right. So September. The Hierophant, we have the High Priest here. Now, the High Priest is the card of secret knowledge, of institutions, traditions. So sometimes this card comes up when it's to do with marriage, it's to do with churches, schools, libraries, niche sets of information. So what it's saying is that, well, it depends on the context, really. It can say all kinds of things. And my mind is like, which direction do we go? I feel like in this instance, there's also religious symbolism with this as well. So I feel like it comes back to that connection with the divine. Because roosters are strange with that sort of thing. Sometimes they're really devoted, and sometimes they think they're atheists. They think they're atheists, but yet they still have a connection to the earth and to nature. So, of course, everybody's different, and it's hard to say that really about one sign. But I think what this card says is that reconnect to your inner self, because in doing so, you could get some more knowledge, not just about yourself, but how the world really works. And it's possible that it comes through you, through the universe, through the divine. It might not be anything that you need to share with other people. It could just be something that changes your own life for your own benefit. And it's just a communication between you and the divine. And that's enough. That's enough. Moving on to October, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, this is an interesting card. This says that I'm so busy with life. Money comes in, money goes out, but I'm just busy juggling the balls and making sure that everything is moving smoothly. The emotional issues that I have right now get pushed to the background because I don't have the wherewithal to be able to deal with them right now. I don't have the energy, I don't have the capacity, and so it has to get pushed to the background. At some point, it will come to the fore and I'll deal with it, but not right now, because October is going to be busy. November, we have the Sun card. Now, the Sun card is one of the best cards in the pack. It's possible that a lot of you roosters might be going on holiday in November, especially if you live in drab places like the UK, if it's autumnal weather and cold and rainy. But it just means, there's a chance you may go to warmer climates. The Sun card also, as you see, there's a child on this horse. It also speaks to. It also is about letting your inner child be free. So even if you don't do any inner child work or anything like that as such at this time, it means that you're engaging in activities that are serving the needs of the inner child. So the inner child is happy. If the inner child is happy, it allows for all kinds of positive manifestations to take place. So this is a very positive card. And November will be very positive for you. Right, December, we have the Ace of Swords. There are 3 cards of victory. This is one of them. This card says, no matter what obstacles you put in my way, I will make my way to my victory regardless. So it's very positive. This card coming up in the festive month means that you might be around family, difficult people, difficult elders, but you play a great, I was going to say game, but you've got the right game face on. And you handle yourself with dignity and with class. So yeah, you'll get through it and you'll do very well. But it'll be positive because the results are positive. There's no losing with the Ace of Swords. It's always like I will win, even if it seems like something else. To me, it's a win. So that's really positive. December will be constructive, let's say. And then as we head into January 2027, we've got the Ten of Swords. Now, this is a complicated card. This card says that you may have held on to something that has long since served its purpose, and it needs to go. You were given a few opportunities to let go before, and you didn't. So now the universe is deciding to take charge and take it away from you, and you have no choice over it anymore. So that's not to scare you. It just means that something that no longer serves you may leave your life in January, and that's all right. That's okay. It is what it is. It's like a match when you've only got so much life in it. It's got to end at some point. So let it be. Let it be. You're strong enough to handle it. You know how to handle these things. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to have a reading with me, the details are in the description box and also this ticker right here. If you want to get in touch, please do, and we can book a one-to-one session. I do sessions in person and also on Zoom. So get in touch and we'll have a chat. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. the dog. This is the reading for the dog sign for 2026, the year of the horse. As the Chinese New Year starts on the 17th of February 2026 and runs until the 6th of February 2027, we will be starting with February. So this is the first month. We've got a Page of Swords. Now, this card has a few interpretations. One of them is that if this archetype is actually you, then you're improving what it is that you're doing. If you're at work and there's something new that's come on board that you need to take on, don't feel like you know how or because you would do the job already, you know how to handle this. There could be some new learning experiences that are required here to get you up to scratch so that you can do as competent a job as you normally do. So be aware of that. Be aware of your ego, that the ego doesn't get in the way. Remain humble, and because being humble allows you to learn more quickly and more efficiently. So February could be a time where you need to learn something new and you need to improve your knowledge on. The other thing that this card denotes is a difficult personality to deal with. So it could be you, or it could be somebody you're around, and especially if that person is younger, is a bit feisty, is harsh with their words, or clever with their words. You know, they say one thing but it means something else. If that's what's happening, nip it in the bud, because this person doesn't need to have a sense of power over you or anybody else in the environment. March. This is a celebration card, the Three of Cups. This card comes when there's a birth in the family, a wedding, or some sort of celebration. Also abundance. This is the card that comes up when somebody is having a creative success. And as we know, the dog signs are very creative. They have the most fertile mind of all 12 signs. So when it comes to creativity and when it comes to like the music world, fashion world, that sort of thing, it's full of dog people. So, it's a positive time. It's a positive time where your creative juices are flowing, but also there's some sort of celebration as well. Right, April, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords. Now, this card is about removing the emotion and making a decision based only upon the facts, being completely rational and objective, so that you're making a sensible decision. Sometimes there's a place for emotion and sometimes there isn't. So what's happening in April here is that you want to be sure that you're basing your decision on the material facts that you have around you. Also, it's a card of strategy. Sometimes you're playing a chess game in real life and you need to have a strategy to sort it out in a way that's going to get you to your objective as quickly as possible. So the King of Swords says, remove the emotion and create a strategy to get yourself there. May, we have the Page of Wands. Now, being a creative sign as you are, this card is the fire starter, right? So sometimes you need a creative spark to get the things going. And this card often comes up when you're in the early stages of something new, a new idea, and you're brainstorming or you're doing whatever it is that you do in the early stages. Now, I know that not all the dog signs are going to work in creative environments, but for those of you that do, that's what's likely to be the case. On another context, it can also be like journaling. It can be like getting your inner thoughts out on paper so that you don't keep overthinking things and you don't go around in a loop in a circle. So it's a time for you to write stuff out. That's what I'd say when the Page of Wands comes, and that's how I'm feeling to interpret it for you. So write it out, journal. In May, journal. Right, June. This is a very positive card. 3 cards of victory. This is one of them. This is the Six of Wands. I return home victorious after having done what I said I was going to do. So this is very positive. Sometimes the spotlight comes on you as well with this card as well. So this one can denote having a bit of fame, becoming a bit of a celebrity, mini celebrity, sometimes for a short period, sometimes for a longer period. But June is a very positive time for you to be noticed and celebrate a little bit for your talents and your skills. July, we have the King of Wands. So this is quite interesting after the Page of Wands that we had in May, because if the Page of Wands is the fire starter, the King of Wands is the fire fulfiller. right? Because he has the wherewithal, he has the funding, the resources, the know-how to create that project, to make that project happen. So let's say you started writing something in May, and by July you've met the people that can make it happen. So I mean, I'm talking just script writing and performing because that's a world I know, but it could be, it could be other world. It could be businesses as well. If you want to start a business and you meet somebody who can help fund it or put it together, it could be anything. Just change that whole what I'm saying and adjust the analogy to whatever realm that it is that you work in. Because especially now, oh my God, there's so many different ways to be creative. Right, August, we've got the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is about transitioning from one state of balance, one way of life, to a new way of life. So August will be that month that you'll transition between the two. It's not always easy because you have to leave a little world behind, but then you're going to create a new world ahead of you, and one that you can choose how you want it to be, and avoiding the mistakes that you made previously as well. So there is a bit of sadness as you're moving to the new place, but it is positive ultimately. Okay, so then we go to September. Now September, we've got the Tower card. So the Tower normally symbolizes your belief structures, your belief system, and your belief system is being burned down from the top down, and from the ashes you've got to create a new belief system because the previous one wasn't working for you. So it's possible that in September, wait, was it September? Yeah, September. It's possible that in September 2026 you go through some sort of metamorphosis. It's possible that you need to, a belief that you've held dear hasn't actually been serving you and you need to change it. But dogs don't change their beliefs very easily. They come to those understandings after a long period of time, assessing this side, that side. Remember that the equal sign in the Western zodiac is Libra. So they have that Libra sort of mentality of the scales, of really looking at it in that objective sort of way. So when they finally do come to a conclusion about the way this thing works, it's hard for them to change it. But September, something will shift because it needs to. You've come to the realization that this isn't working for you and you want to do something different this time. So ultimately, it's only positive. It's only positive at the end of the day. So the next month now, October, we got two cards for October. They came together. The Knight of Pentacles, the guardian angel, and also the Two of Pentacles, the card of busyness. So whilst you're trying to focus on your mind, body, and spirit, you've got so many things to do. You're super busy, and you just have to get on with it. So at the same time as doing that, you're also trying to look after your health on the mind, body, and spirit levels. So I feel like October is going to be a really busy month for you, but fulfilling too. When we get to November, we've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about it's about children. It's about being more playful, and it's about serving the needs of the inner child. So it could literally be about children. Your focus becomes about the children in your life. Maybe if they're not even if they're not your own children, could be other children that you're having to look after. But it can also be about the inner child and serving those needs, allowing yourself to be more playful, doing the things that you like to do when you were a child. That's what this card is asking of you. So think about those things that you used to enjoy doing and figure out a way to do that, whether it's by yourself or whether it's through doing some sort of sport, or if you can take children that you have access to, your own children, or your nephews, nieces, etc. Go and do something that you really enjoy, because it's going to be fulfilling for you as well as for them. December, we have the Three of Swords. Now this card is tough, because this card is like, with a heavy heart, I must move forwards, because there's always forward motion with a three. So even though you're hurting and you're in pain, maybe you're grieving, there's always forward motion. So you just got to get on with life as well as grief. So it's tough. And happening in December, it's December's an interesting month because we do Christmas at this time. The life stops so we can have this festive period, this break. But a lot of people have lost loved ones at this time as well. It seems like November, December is the period of time where so many people lose their grandparents or loved ones, and it's hard. But with a heavy heart, you must carry on and know that our loved ones who have passed are still with us in some context. I know that doesn't mean anything really, but they are. And look for the signs: the white feathers, the shiny coins, the butterflies, especially white butterflies. These are signs that your loved ones are near you and they're thinking of you as you're thinking of them. So yeah. Let's move on to January 2027. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this card is about sowing the seeds for your financial success. And not just financial, but other contexts as well, but mainly financial success. So if you had an idea, it suggests that in January 2027, you're going to put those ideas into motion and start on the basic level to make them happen. So it's positive, very positive month. So yeah, it's a generally speaking, horse years are one of the best years for the dog signs. So even though there are some of these moments here that are a bit tough, generally speaking, you're going to find that the year is just going to flow for you, and there's going to be some really amazing peak points, real blessings for you that you'll remember for the rest of your life. So happy horse year, dog people. It was going to be good. Now, I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to book a reading with me, you can find my details in the description box, or you can also see this ticker going at the bottom of the screen here, and it will give you the details you need to contact me. So come and have a reading with me, and we'll have a chat and look at your astrology and your tarot cards at the same time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Right. This is the reading for the Boar sign in 2026, which is the horse year. Now, the horse year starts on the 17th of February 2026 and runs through to the 6th of February 2027. So there's no January. We're going to start, well, there will be January later on at the end of the year, but we're starting with February. So for February, we have the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is a return to that adolescent phase of life where things are new, things are exciting, and you have sort of that frisky excitement about these new things that are happening. So it could be things that you've been waiting to happen for a long time, and only now do you feel that is actually happening in front of you. So maybe you fall in love for the first time properly. Maybe you take that holiday that you've been wanting to take for all those years, and finally you get to be in that country you've always wanted to experience. It's that sort of thing. But it's a really lovely card with really lovely energy. That it's hard to explain, but when your body has so many sensations that it's never experienced before. So it's really positive. I hope that whatever it is that you're wanting at this time, I hope that is as exciting as you wished it to be. Right. So we were talking about March in 2026. We've got the card of the Four of Pentacles. Now this card has the interpretation. Sorry, the dog's just here. This card means pulling back your resources. So pulling back your finances, but also your energetic resources. So what I mean by that is pulling back your feelings. It's possible that there's some people around you who just make you feel a bit uncomfortable. They might not necessarily be like toxic personalities or anything like that, but it could just be that you're uncomfortable. Something's making you uncomfortable, and intuitively you're feeling like, I just need to back up a little bit. So just do that. Don't give away too much information about yourself. But also it's a sign of don't spend too much money at this time either. And if you're lucky enough to be in a position, a work role where you're able to make money, stash it away. That's what you're to do at this time, in this year. So, but it's a positive time. It's a good card. It's a card that puts you in charge. It's interesting that I say that because as we head into April, we have the card of the Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man is a card where you don't have as much control. What happens here is you have to accept your circumstances. This guy's hanging from a tree with his one leg tied up and his hands tied up. There's not much he can do, so he has to accept his circumstances. And when he does that, by accepting the circumstances, that frees him up. Then what happens is you enter the spiritual flow, and you are able to sort of what Esther Hicks talks about entering the vortex. So when you do that, then positive manifestation is possible. But there's an acceptance of your circumstances that's a prerequisite before you can get to that point. That's what's important for you to know when the Hanged Man comes out. May. we've got the card of the Five of Cups. Now, with this card, there is some sadness. There's a sense that something hasn't gone quite the way that you wanted it to. So this is a card of grief and sadness and longing for what might have been. But there's positive things happening as well. If you look at the card, there's 2 cups that are standing behind him and 3 cups that are spilt. So he's focusing on the ones that are spilt and not on the ones that are standing. So if he turns his head and starts focusing on things that are working, that restarts that attitude of gratitude, and then the universal law of attraction swirl, the vortex starts beginning to swirl faster in your benefit. So as you raise your vibration and your vibration gets higher and higher, the easier and faster your manifestations are. June is a very positive month for you because we have the Sun card. And the Sun card is one of the best cards in the pack. So what this suggests is you may actually be in warmer climates, or in June being a summer month, then it could just be you're at home and you feel like the sun is all around you and you're full of joy in life. But it doesn't necessarily mean the sunniness and all of that, literally, because that's what the card is literally about. I mean, your life could be like that regardless, whether it's there or not. The Sun card means that I live and I bathe in happiness and joy and fun. My inner child is exuberant, is very happy, is being well cared for and well looked after. And so I'm able to feel free and enjoy life. So June is a very positive month for you. July, we have the Three of Wands, which is one of the cards of abundance. So with this card, you've sent out your fleet and you're waiting for the fleet to return with the Prophet. So it feels like you, in terms of the work stuff, you've done what you needed to do, and now it's time for you to wait before the returns come in. So in that regard, it's very positive. It gives you time to strategize about what you're going to do next and what the next step is for you and what the next set of work priorities are for you as and when those profits do return. It all depends on the work that you're doing. I hope this makes sense to you in the context that you work. But it's a positive card for abundance and joy, and something that you set forth. Positive results are on the way back. August, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now this is a complicated card because there's a few interpretations. Generally, it means that money issues or money issues, unanticipated money issues, and also it means neglect. It's a card of neglect, not looking after yourself, or feeling like that other people have forgotten about you. So what it asks of you is for you to be self-sufficient and also ask for help if you need it, because there are people that will help you. And sometimes with this card, it's all in your head. Other people have just been busy with their own life, and you're like, well, they forgot about me. And actually, they didn't. They were just busy with the difficulties that they were facing. So if you can reach out and just to ask somebody who has the emotional and psychological capacity to hold space for you, because you don't want to approach the wrong people. If you approach the right people and ask them for help, they will be happy to be there for you. So it's all about A, being a good person so that you have these people in your life, and B, choosing the right people to approach. So do that and you'll find it's okay. Some people like to be of service and like to be needed. So those are the ones you want to go for, and they'll be there for you as long as you've been a good friend to them and been there for them in the past. They'll be happy to serve and happy to be there for you and get you back on track. So August, although complicated, it can help to forge bonds with friends and make those connections even deeper. So that's really positive. Now, September, we've got the three card of the major arcana, which is the Empress. So she is the patron of creativity, abundance, joy, motherhood. She's pregnant in this picture. It doesn't mean you're all going to have children, but what it does mean often is that a project could start here that could take 9 months to gestate before it comes out on the other side. It doesn't have to be a baby. It could be a project. But she also denotes abundance and joy and fun, and just all of the things that you need in life are provided. They're there. So it's a very positive time, September. October, we have the Three of Swords. Now, This is a card of sadness, of I don't want to say the other card was more grief, but this is a card of sadness, of like with a heavy heart. You just got to carry on moving. So something could happen, or maybe has already happened. That's just weighing heavy on you at the moment. And although you want the time and space to sort of be sad and deal with that, unfortunately with the 3 card, there's always forward motion, so you can't really stop. You've just got to keep moving and keep going forwards. And so with a heavy heart, you must carry on. October will be busy. It's busy for a lot of people. A lot of the signs that I've read for, October's been a really busy month. So I don't know what's happening. I hope there's not some sort of like international catastrophe or something, because October seems complicated for most of the signs. So that is weird. Sorry about that. My phone went off. Right, so that's October. November, we have the World card. 2 best cards of the pack, Sun and the World. And here in November, we've got the World card. So this is really positive. You're in tune with the universe. You're dancing to the tune of the universe. So that law of attraction vortex, you're in it. You're high vibration at this time. Manifestations come quickly, and positive coincidences abound. Synchronicities are happening on your behalf. So it's a really positive month, November. December, equally as positive. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune turns in your favour. So this can mean financial improvements. It can mean just luck is on your side. But also with this card, it can mean positive changes can occur from now for the next 10 to 12 months. So that's also something to bear in mind. I know it's December, but you can start something positive December, January time. And the January card, the Tower card, would also speak to that, because the Tower says that your old belief system crumbles, and on the ashes you will start something new. So as we head into the Chinese New Year of the Sheep, because that was January 2027, as we head into the Sheep Year, which is one of your best friends, you'll find that the environment suits you and suits the way that you operate. So yeah, Horse Year is going to be good, Sheep Year is going to be good. So this is your prediction for the 2026. I hope you liked it. If you want to book a reading with me, please do. The details are in the description box and also in the ticker down here. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. I don't know if that was any good. Hide up. So the Chinese New Year of the Sheep starts on the 6th of February 2027. Okay. I feel like I've got something in my mouth. So that was April. 1 second. I don't know why. When I do these readings, I burp. I'm so sorry. I always think it's disgusting. I remember one year I did it, was doing the sheep sign, and I really belched, and I left it in the video. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Anyway, sorry. I just burped now. I can't leave that in the video. Cut it out, Adeel. Cut it out. Put it. Okay. know what I'm gonna say sometimes, you know. 언젠데, 뭐 언젠데. 봤다니 Right, let's do this. No, we don't rooster. We're going to do dog. Right.